All right.
We're in it.
We're in it. We're in it, boys.
We're doing stuff.
Oh, man.
We're back.
Yep.
Welcome to the studio, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks
These are
for
the
having
fellas
us.
from Podcastrophe
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
over here in the tank top. I'm going to call you Dick, since your closer friends call you by the other name. He's like, yeah. Not in a derogatory way, though.
It is what it is. It's my name. I was born this way.
And then to the other side of him, we have Tyler.
What's up?
Welcome to the studio, boys.
Very excited to be here.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about doing this for a couple months.
Yeah, as soon as I found out that you guys were here in town, I saw Nick Maxon of Brews with Dudes and
Yeah.
the Doom Room and Weed Bee and all the millions of other things he's in. He was on the show, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah.
I still have another. He brought us some of his homebrewed beers,
Oh, nice.
and I've been saving one down in the fridge. So,
Crack that boy open on a special day.
oh yeah, I'll probably do it next week on our 100th episode. So,
That's a spectacular time to do it.
yeah. So yeah. Oh, I can't see what. Oh yeah. Shout out to Summit City Live. Thanks for the host.
Yep.
I think he's asking where you guys got your mics.
I got mine from Sweetwater.
And I got mine from Amazon.
Nice.
Nice.
I like them.
Yeah, he's up there in Fort Wayne. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Sweetwater's the best. I love them.
Do you guys ever go to the Gear Fest?
I did last year.
And
Yeah.
we planned to this year, but we both had to end up working. Last minute, can't get out of work type stuff.
Right.
So our plan originally was to go up there and rage with everybody else and come back with some goodies. but
Yeah. Yeah, we went last year. It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I met Glenn Fricker.
Oh, yeah?
from SMG Studios. Yeah, that was cool.
Nice.
That was really cool.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh, that's their mics. So yeah. Yeah, we went up there last year. I think what did we go? Just Sunday? We
What?
just went on Gear Fest.
Oh, last year, yeah.
Yeah.
We went all day.
Yeah, we went all day.
Yeah.
And
Probably shouldn't have.
we'd walk around. We're like, all right, let's go wait for the prizes. See if
I got there about like 1 o'clock, and then I think I left about 5 or 6. And
Yeah.
I just went up by myself.
That would have been smarter.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Saw a lot of cool shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You walk in, they're like, you want to... They have like studios in every tent, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, you want to track some guitar?
I saw a lot of stuff that I couldn't buy.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, man,
I wish I would have had money when we went.
all these mics.
I know. I know.
We took a trip about a month ago to go up there and kind of cruise because we've been, steadily upgrading our studio stuff for the last couple months for sure. And I was walking around and I was like, man, I really want to buy this. And then I would buyer's remorse and put it back, And then
Yeah.
Then I would inevitably pick something else up, and I would go to him and be like, "Should I buy this? Please,
No.
please tell me I should buy this." And he'd be like, "Man, we really don't need that." And normally I'm the one that has to tell him to not buy shit. So
I was legitimately not allowed to buy anything there.
yeah,
Yeah, so because I spend a lot of money on things that I
don't need
don't need.
like
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. It's always the stuff that you don't need
Sounds
that you
about
want the
right.
most.
All I
Yeah.
did was I went up there. The only money I spent at Sweetwater was I brought my guitar up there and had them restring it. And the cool thing was like I didn't pay for the restringing. I just paid for the strings.
Right.
I'm like, dude, nice.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all professionally done. Yeah, you guys brought some beers with you too. So,
Yes.
thanks for the zombie dust.
Of course.
I
Yeah,
haven't had
appreciate
zombie
it.
dust in like a while.
I got some gumball head the other day.
Yeah, I've been seeing Gumball Head
think that's what I
and
got.
Space
Yeah.
Station Middle Finger everywhere.
Yeah.
Which I love Space Station Middle Finger.
It's all
Mainly because of
right.
the label.
Yes, of course. And the name's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it definitely has the wow factor for sure.
Yeah.
To me, it tastes like Zombie Dust or Alpha King, but like diet.
Yeah. Diet Alpha King.
Yeah. And Gumball Head, it's just, I think it's too bold, too strong of a flavor.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan. That was actually the very first one I tried
I think
from
it's got
Three
like
Floyds.
it's a little sweeter. It's not.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
I like the sweeter.
The
flavor
Yum
of
Yum's
it.
good too. That's
Oh, I
Yeah.
do like Yum Yum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before I even liked beer. I tried Gumball Head, and I'm like, nah. And then I tried it after I had been drinking beer for a while, and I'm like, Yeah, still, nah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all acquired
Yes,
taste.
yes.
My first beer, I was like, this is awful.
I think I puked the first time I drank a beer.
I don't blame you.
Like I
I'm surprised.
took like 3 drinks of it and like puked it back up.
I was on a long Smirnoff Ice and Angry Orchard kick.
Smirnoff.
Nice.
I was iced for quite a while.
Iced for
Please leave this room.
I tried to do that to my brother at a bar, and I walked up to the bartender. I was like, hey, man, can I get a Smirnoff Ice? And he's like, yeah, whatever you want, pussy, and just like grabs it. I was like, no, it's for... damn.
I had a Zima the other day.
Ooh.
How was that?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
They're not bad.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's kind of like a Smirnoff.
I've never had a Zima,
Same.
but I have definitely talked shit about Zima for like the last decade. So,
They brought it back. You got to get some.
They always used to make fun of it on Mad TV.
oh
That
yeah.
guy would be like, you guys want a Zima
That's
water?
the only reason I want to drink Zima is because of him.
Back in the day when the Doom Room first started, back when it was on 28th Street, that was when I was drinking Smirnoff Ice. And I would just buy like a 24 pack, and I'm like, I'm raging tonight. And Nick hated it.
I bet you looked real cool walking.
Oh,
with your case of
totally.
Smirnoff.
Well, it was like I'd bring a case of Smirnoff and a bottle of Southern Comfort, and I can't drink Southern Comfort now. I smell it, and I mean,
Did you have like a van that
Yeah.
said free candy on the side of it when you pulled up?
Right.
no.
I
But no,
I got all the goodies.
I would finish a
Hey
bottle.
kids.
I would finish
Want
a
a
bottle of the
Smirnoff?
Smirnoff Ice, and I would just hide it somewhere in the house. And so by the end of the night, there'd be 24 Smirnoff Ice bottles just randomly throughout the house, and Nick had to find them all the next day.
I don't have a lot of room. I used to drink Mike's.
Just smash them, so just get rid of the evidence. Yeah,
All I would drink in high school was Mike's. And
yeah, he would get tanked off Mike's Hard Lemonade.
That's what my girlfriend does.
I might too. While she drinks.
I was a Tapico orange juice and whatever the cheapest vodka I could buy
Yeah,
guy.
screwdrivers.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
what I
do.
drank in high school.
I would do vodka. I drink vodka and Jaeger.
Together?
No,
Oh,
but no, not beer.
I was getting ready to say brave man.
God.
I mean, I love Jaeger. Don't get me wrong, but good God.
I can't drink that shit anymore.
Oh, I love it.
Zach on Twitch said Glenn is the man. Summit City Live said the darker the better. I want to chew my beer.
That's fair. I mean, we've talked about that on our show quite a bit. I mean, he's not a stout guy. I personally like porters more than I like stouts.
I like tasting stouts. I don't like drinking stouts.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people, you can't really tell the difference between a porter and a stout. I mean, if you're just,
Yeah, I probably could.
I mean, if you don't have your palate trained in a way to be able to tell the difference. But I don't like to drink the super dark stuff like during the summertime and when I'm doing stuff.
Right.
You know, when it's wintertime and it's cold outside and I'm just, you know, I have a nice fireplace in my house. So if I've got like a fire going in the house, it's kind of a nice like ambiance type thing. But other than that, I don't really need to drink them.
I'm not really one of them people that drinks beer when I'm really hot. Like somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna go out and mow the yard and drink 10 beers. Like, no,
Yeah, just drink Coors. It's pretty much water.
Right. 96%.
I just can't. I don't know. People that are like, I gotta do yard work and drink beer at the same time. Like,
Now, don't
fuck,
get
are you
me.
trying to die?
How you riding a mower? It's like,
I've tried it. It doesn't work.
Well, you get one of those beer helmets with the straws.
Oh, yeah.
So then it's completely hands free.
or use one of the Camelbacks. So
Yep.
you got the straw.
God, I did that on spring break one year.
Oh,
I filled my entire Camelback up with screwdriver. That was not a good decision.
I imagine you just threw it away after that.
Tyler,
No, I gave it
You
a.
got it
I-
cleaned out?
Yeah, I gave it
No
a good
shit.
wash. Yeah.
can we get one of those hats for the show? 2 of those hats.
there you go.
Well, I mean, are you really worthy to wear one of those hats?
have a
And for the
Camelback.
love of,
I
for the
just
love
want
of
one.
God,
Do
don't
you?
ever touch me like
Might
that
need it for
again.
the 25th.
I might not. I have a Camelback at home.
They come in handy.
I haven't used it in years, but it should be clean. I
Yeah.
mean, I only need to put water in it and cleaned it out after that. So
Yeah.
Nate Phillips, Podfather, dropping love to all around music. Thanks, Nate Phillips.
just fill it with
Shout
whiskey.
out Nate Phillips.
Oh, did you say with whiskey?
Yeah.
God, no.
I'll get 2, one with whiskey and one with Coke, and
Yeah, just
bring them both
yeah.
around.
I'll drink about anything except whiskey.
Really,
I can't do it. I mean,
I can't drink it straight.
I
I can't do that shit.
you know, my
Not anymore.
dad's retired now, so he's like into the point where he's getting into like the really good sipping bourbons and really getting into all that shit. And a couple years ago, I flew down for 4th of July, and you know, it was like 1:00 in the morning when we rolled into his house, And he said, "Here, you need to try this bourbon. It's the best bourbon I've ever had." And I said, "Dad, I don't like bourbon." And he starts pouring me the drink.
Well, you'll like this one.
He
It's
starts
always the line.
He starts pouring me the drink, and he's like, you just need to try it." And I said, "Dad, I don't like bourbon." He goes, "Drink it, pussy." Well, then at that point, you're obligated to drink
Right.
it. So
You got called out.
I tip it back and I down it, and I'm standing in front of the sink. As soon as it hits my gut, right back up. I
Yep.
puked it right back up in
Damn.
the sink. I just don't like bourbon.
Right.
I've had a few whiskeys that I'll like tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Williams is a cheap whiskey for a lot of people, but I had a single barrel that I bought my dad for Father's Day a couple years ago that was actually not bad. I could drink it
Yeah.
and not throw up immediately.
There's
but
less burn.
yeah, for sure. It's not like throwing a log on the fire, burning it down to nothing, and then grabbing a handful of it and shoving it in your mouth.
Right.
I mean, like
Yeah.
anything. I mean, we already said it. It's an acquired taste.
I don't care how smooth they say it is. I'm not sipping on it. Like,
Yeah.
It's just not
Yeah.
happening. It's a lie. Every time I take that sip, they're like, "Oh, it's so smooth." And I take a sip, I'm like,
Yeah, for sure.
"It's not
I mean,
smooth, man."
I
It's
just,
not.
I can't do any liquor. I just can't do it. I mean,
Yeah.
at least not straight. Like it just as soon as it hits my
Yeah.
stomach, it's just
I'll drink Crown and Coke and Captain and Coke and
yeah.
Jameson and Coke, even though that's a sin apparently.
Some places, yeah.
Try Jameson and ginger ale.
Really,
That's real good. That I can do for sure.
Jack Daniels and Dr Pepper's good.
Really.
Dr Pepper, I think I did it with Captain. Dr Pepper and Captain was pretty good.
I used to do Bacardi Oakheart and Dr Pepper. Dr Pepper from VP.
Okay.
I lived at
Just
very
VP?
specific.
Hey, I get it.
I lived at Pheasant Run. We had
Yes, that VP.
that VP.
I used to
and
go to that VP and get Dr Pepper all the time and
Yep.
mix it with my drinks.
Nice.
When Billy lived over there.
It's just like the perfect amount of carbonation and ice and
Now, would Dr. Thunder be okay?
No.
I don't know.
No, no.
There's
Alright,
the,
that's-
the-
I
they're
just-
saying no. They're
I
saying
just
no.
gotta ask, man.
This is a
Say
Dr.
no.
This is a Dr Pepper house.
What about Dr. Shasta? You guys ever heard of that?
Dr.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
Let us know,
Sounds like a
folks.
back
Let us know
alley.
if you like Dr. Shasta.
Sounds like a back alley gynecologist.
Right.
You want your junk looked at? Come back to Dr. Shasta.
Oh my
This
God.
is so awesome. This
We need a
actually...
Dr. Shasta T-shirt.
Oh yes, this feels like an episode of Podcastrophe.
A little
bit because it's just chaos.
We don't want to take over your show by
No.
any means.
No, not at all.
But we have a hard time controlling ourselves.
We do too. It's okay.
Well, I mean,
we'll
this
get
is-
like off the rails sometimes.
we try to usually like plan topics to talk about, but we have nothing. So let's just get weird.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't
mean,
prepare anything, so I figured it would.
I do have a bone to pick.
Oh yeah.
For the
So
love of God already.
yes, I've been holding this in for a while because
You might want to get that checked out.
the episode I watched with Nick Maxon, you
Yeah.
guys eventually got to a point where you guys were like, "Oh yeah, these are my favorite albums from the year." One or both of you said Incubus 8.
Yes.
I was super disappointed with that album
Well, fuck you in your opinion.
because because you guys were. I love Incubus first of all,
Right.
And you guys were like, "Oh yeah, it's like one of the best albums of the year." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm gonna check it
See,
You're,
out."
I'm not a
you're like,
huge-
whoa, pump the brakes.
No, I'm not
bud.
I wasn't a huge Incubus fan before I listened to it either. So,
Oh really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, I liked their hits, but like I wasn't
Yes.
like
To me, it was like the latest Foo Fighters album. Very disappointing.
Well, I mean, depending on who you talk to, I think the majority of Foo Fighters is disappointing. So
but I still stand behind that album. I still like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you dig it. I didn't. It was too experimental for me.
I
Yeah.
also agree with you guys. I really dug that album.
There was only one song on there that I didn't like. It was
I
that
don't-
like weird.
When I Became a Man or something
I
like
don't
Yeah,
know.
something
Yeah, there's
weird.
there's one or two songs that aren't like.
And I was
great.
like, that kind of like threw off the whole vibe a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
When I first listened, I was like, what's going on?
I'd say
I know.
the first half of the album, I really like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know the Incubus-y songs.
yeah.
if
It
you will.
slows down at the end of the album.
Yeah.
It kind of gets into something else, but
Something else indeed.
they
Yeah.
got a little too stoned at the end, I think, and lost track.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went and saw them when they were.
Yeah.
They played with Jimmy Eat World.
That also
Ooh,
made
how
it.
was
That
that?
also knocked it up to be
Oh,
another one of my
It
favorites.
was
of the year.
amazing. Yeah, because you bought the ticket, then
I would've
they
loved
just
that.
they just mailed you the CD.
Oh,
the
that's
album.
cool. That's
Yeah.
really
I'm like,
cool.
Cool.
I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with the CD?
I don't know where mine is.
It's like our kids. It's like our kids looking at a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this thing?
What do I?
That might have actually been in my old car when I sold it.
Well, I got a good surprise, I guess.
That was a great concert.
It was.
I actually really wanted to go to that concert.
I got hammered drunk.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
yeah. Good.
Because beers are like $16, and he's like, "I'm just gonna get a bottle of wine instead."
You can buy a bottle of wine for $30, and they put it in this thing for you.
It's a giant wine koozie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They pour the bottle into this big cup-looking thing that close like a lid on it, but then you can put a giant koozie around it. I chugged that down. It was a good start. And then,
Yeah.
Then I drank a couple Budweisers and I was set.
There you go.
I just looked over, and he was like sitting on the ground, like,
Man, wine drunks are tough.
"Yeah,
I mean, I'm very particular about my wine, but when I get drinking wine, man, it's hard to stop.
I
yeah."
can't remember what it
It's
was.
like
it
liquid
was,
candy.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like pink Moscato or something.
yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I don't really like wine.
Those are good.
and that's like the weaker of the
Yeah.
like it's not real strong.
Yeah, it's a sweet wine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually it's only like 9% by
Yeah.
volume.
I don't like regular like red wine.
I got into a kick where I was like really into wine for a little bit,
hmm
and I was drinking like 4 bottles in like one night.
God damn.
Then I was like, "What am I doing?" So I went and got the box of wine.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
How many boxes of wine did we kill at Jordan's house?
4. God.
That was so gross.
You guys are brave
We
souls.
had it was the Charlie McDinnis party that
Oh,
he
yeah.
has. And do you ever watch Always Sunny?
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
They play the Charlie McDinnis game.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So
that game.
our buddy it's like we do that, but in his house.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't even remember the third round.
You start with what? You start with wine,
Start with wine,
and then we
and then
move to beer, and then liquor.
Mm.
And by
I think
then, you're
one
already
girl-
just.
I don't
like,
think one of the girls made it past the wine stage.
No, she
That's
puked.
rough. That's rough.
By the time you get to alcohol, you're pretty much borderline blackout already.
Right.
He sent me a
So-
picture the other day of it. This was when was
Yeah.
this? Like 6 months ago.
We lost one of the cards, so they got to draw on her face with makeup.
Yeah.
So they just naturally they wrote
Wrote
slut.
across our foreheads.
Right.
and- yeah.
It was bad. It took me like 3 days to get that shit off.
But I don't remember that picture. He sent me this the other day. I'm like, I don't remember that one bit. Like, I don't know what that is. He's wearing my clothes. I'm wearing his clothes.
Dude, that was the worst. They like talked
Yeah.
about it for like probably 10 minutes on who had to switch clothes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, fuck, they're gonna make me switch with a girl. No, worse. I had to fit into his clothes, and then he put mine on, and some guy was like, "You look like you're from an Everlast music video."
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I bought these clothes at Baby Gap.
That's what it felt like.
It's size schmedium.
Schmedium. I even had to wear the hat,
Oh.
and my
Different
head's like, yeah, different hat. Did that hat make it?
It's at home somewhere.
It's retired now.
Summit City. Who hasn't walked around the trailer park? Wait, who hasn't walked around the trailer park on a lowrider bike and a box of wine? How you gonna walk and ride the bike?
I don't know.
You walk it beside you.
Oh, there,
You
oh
use
yeah,
the
yeah.
seat of the bicycle to
hold
hold
your
your
wine.
box of wine. Yeah,
You like
There we
duct
go.
tape the wine to the
Yeah.
bike seat and just push it around.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the saddles,
Can I get a vodka LaCroix?
Oh,
God, that's the worst carbonated water ever.
yeah, that
I
stuff's
mean,
nasty.
so I lived in Europe for a long period of time. So
Oh,
I
really?
I like carbonated water.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't drink just regular bottled
Right.
water normally. So my wife got like a 6-pack of LaCroix for free from the hospital or something, and she brought it home and she's like, "Here, you should try this because you like carbonated water." I took one drink and spit it in the sink. I was like, lemon and lime. Like I can eat a lemon and lime. Like
Yeah.
people eat an apple or an orange because I really, really like citrus fruit. But it was so nasty.
Yeah.
It's not. It's yeah. I think the only one I could drink because I got on this health kick for a couple months. So
Yeah, you
I
know
bought
that
this
the
shit.
new year, new me.
Right.
Couple months.
and
Couple.
bought like 5 fucking boxes of the shit, like all the flavors. I think
All the
only
flavors.
the only one that I could stand, I think, I want to say the lime, maybe a lemon lime or something.
Lemon
maybe
lime.
Mm-hmm.
kind of tasted somewhat like a watered down Sprite.
Yeah.
That was
Drowns
about-
out the shitty taste.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah. It definitely was not good.
But it's not good with vodka.
I posted some meme recently. It's like LaCroix comes in new flavors, and it has like a list of different ones.
Was
Like
one of them vegan?
no, but one of them was like was in a truck with a bunch of beside a bunch of bananas.
Yes.
And there's like a bunch of other ones. I wish I could remember.
saw
'cause
those.
it got better as you read down.
I saw those things somewhere. It was, yeah.
I
The
like
flavor
those.
just bled over.
Somebody makes a vodka. I just saw a commercial last night. It was they didn't call it vodka, but they said something, an alcoholic drink that's pretty much LaCroix.
I saw
and
that. I
vodka.
saw that in the store a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember what it's called either.
I just saw a commercial for it last night, and I thought that's the fucking stupidest thing I ever saw.
God. Yeah, could you imagine like well vodka in one of those nasty carbonated drinks, just pre-packaged, just sitting in that aluminum for like 6 months on the shelf? Like how nasty that would be. Why would you do that to yourself? Like, don't procreate.
I saw, because I know you guys talk about movies sometimes. Have you guys seen the preview? It's called, what was it called? Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
have
just
not.
it's like all Asian people, and they're all just being crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's like
It's hard
like
seltzer.
it's like an okay.
What is it?
Hard seltzer.
Hard seltzer.
It's like a heir to a like some business empire in like Singapore,
Oh, is it?
and he gets engaged to like just a regular like blue collar type Asian girl, and then
What's that?
brings her home, and then the mom doesn't approve, and I mean it's the
Naturally.
it's the typical wedding movie just with Asians.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
And then I did the typical, man, a lot of those actors look familiar.
Ah.
And then I was like,
Oh
yeah.
darn! I did it again.
Oh, I'm so bad.
We know.
I'm
Yeah.
so terrible.
Yes.
Summit City, we should do a 3-way Centurion challenge.
A what?
What does that say? That say
What's a centurion? challenge?
Centurion.
What's that?
Centurion challenge, AAM versus All Around Music versus Summit City Live versus Podcastrophe Live someday.
What is that?
I do like trivia.
Is it
in
like a
between.
gay thing or?
You two versus them two.
Either
versus
way,
two
I'm
of
down.
mine. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I'm in.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, we're always down.
100 shots of beer in 100 minutes.
Oh, I tried doing that with Corey one time.
Oh.
How far'd you get?
We made it like to 30 or 40.
That's it?
All right, well, let me run to Walmart and grab some Rolling Rock real quick. We'll be right back.
Rolling Rock. I'm gonna do
Clear
Michelob
Creek.
Ultra if I'm gonna be doing shots.
I didn't want to be, I didn't want to go that extreme. I want to at least taste something other than water.
You might as well hydrate while you're wasting your time playing this game.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I went on a health kick for a while too, and Ultra's what I
I still drink Michelob
That's
Ultra.
what I was drinking
It's
too.
all jokes aside, it's not really
not bad.
It's
Right.
not a bad beer.
I
mean,
drink it when I'm at the bar because it doesn't really
He's
get you
like,
drunk.
eh.
Like you can sit and drink with your friends all night.
the
and not
skinny,
get
the skinny
drunk.
cans make me feel sophisticated.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
you get
like,
the bottle.
oh, skinny can, skinny body.
Yeah.
Get the bottle and rip the label off. Nobody knows what you're drinking.
Exactly. What is that? This is generic beer.
This is literally it's just called beer.
Yeah.
It's just beer.
It's like straight out of a movie. Just beer.
Right.
Just beer. Simply beer.
I went to a trivia night at a bar downtown last night, and pretty much the entire time I was there, I was killing old styles, and people
Yeah.
were looking at me like I was nuts.
Old Style's not bad.
Old style's not bad.
Dude, you gotta do butter beer.
Butter beers. What
Harry
is that?
Potter.
It's where you take the.
I remember I've had it. They did it. They used
The
to do it at DT
butterscotch,
Kirby's. I don't know if they still do.
It was, what is it? The butterscotch
and
schnapps?
or something. But
Yeah.
I don't remember what. Did they just put it in regular beer or was it a certain beer?
It was either.
It might have been Old Style.
It was old style.
I don't
It was
know.
definitely old style.
It wasn't bad actually.
Yeah, it actually made old style okay.
I like old style the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't go out of my way to get it.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not gonna pay.
I mean,
if it's the cheap beer,
right.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Usually I go to the bar, I'm like, all right, what's the special? It's some beer. I'm like, don't even know what it is, but I'll take it.
Yeah, sign me up.
$4.50 for a beer. I could just go buy a case,
Did I tell you I was up a couple of weeks ago? We went up to this lake. Have you ever heard of Bass Lake?
Yeah.
We rode up there on this ride. And we stopped at some bar there, and I ordered a beer. The beer was like $3 or whatever for a big mug. My
Oh,
buddy
nice.
ordered a double Jameson and Coke or something, but it came in like a little plastic cup. And it was $9.
God
What?
damn.
She's like, it's a double shot or something. Do you want the double shot or something of it? And he drank it and he goes like, this isn't even as strong as like most bars. And it was $9.
Yeah.
I was like,
No.
Jesus.
That's
fucking
terrible.
Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, when you get situations like that where alcohol is really expensive, it's like you stand there and you're like, man, do I really want to pay $13 for this beer?
Yeah.
And then you inevitably end up paying $13 for that beer, and it's like, they've got me. You know, I want this
Right.
beer real bad.
$13 beer night.
That's what I hate about concerts.
Yeah, usually I just
yeah.
get one, and that's probably about it.
But, you know, sporting events is the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife's a big Cubs fan, so we go to Wrigley a couple times a year, and then,
Does Wrigley have the big cans like at concerts? You get like the big 24-ounce can? Do they have
yeah.
those?
But still, those are
It's-
like $16.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
still ridiculous.
You remember that summer that Payless sold those for like $1 a piece?
No,
You don't remember that?
I don't remember.
Maybe
that.
that's why you don't remember that. They were like the big cans. I go in there after work every day and just get like 24 of them.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I was a part of that.
No?
I don't remember that.
Tecate is my favorite daily beer, and Fresh Time for a long time had those big 24-ounce cans.
I always
Oh, yeah.
forget Fresh Time has like they have a big selection, don't
Mhm.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have build your own 6-pack.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like $11-12 for build your own 6-pack, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person I don't like to drink the same thing every day
Yeah, I get like that
because
sometimes.
inevitably I'm going to get tired of drinking that one thing and not want to drink it ever again.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am, you
like
know.
to mix it up.
Yeah. So, yeah, for when Fresh Time first opened, I was going in there like every other day and just stocking up on all of those, 24-ounce cans that they
Yeah.
had. Because if you didn't get in there as soon as they loaded the shelf, people were clearing
Oh,
them
yeah,
out,
I mean,
you know.
$1
Right.
gone.
Yep.
I wonder if they'll have Amazon deliver that.
You're getting 2 cases for the price of one,
Fresh
basically.
Time.
And then you got to drink them fast because they'll get warm.
Right.
Speaking of concert beer, right when I turned 21, I went to Mayhem Festival. It was, I think, it was about almost a year after I turned 21, but it was Mayhem Festival 2012, and let's see. Okay, so I wasn't a drinker then. I hadn't started drinking, and my buddy Wes Everett.
Wait, you are now?
I am now. Compared to then, he's
You
like,
can pull that cord a little closer if you want. You got there's some slack down there.
Yeah, I
There you
put
go.
mine under the table.
Anyway, so my buddy Wes, went to high school with him. He was like my concert go-to guy. Went to like all the Mayhem festivals. Went and saw Lamb of God and Children of Bodom together, and all these concerts. And he's like, "Hey man, try this!" And it was Jack Daniel's Watermelon Punch.
Oh,
Oh, I've heard that stuff's nasty.
Oh, it
Oh.
was great. He's like, "Here you go."
I remember that stuff.
Yeah. He's like, "Do you like it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Take it." And I'm like, "Okay." How much was it? He's like, $9.
Oh, my God.
I'm
a
like,
deal.
"Oh shit, I'll get you one." Next thing you know, he's like, he goes down, gets himself one and me one, and he's like, "Here." And I was like, "All right, next one, I'm definitely getting you back." And he just kept doing it. He ended up getting me like 5 of them on top of getting himself more.
Jesus.
And
So-
I'm like,
So
It's getting awkward.
I can attest that the Watermelon Punch is really good because we went to the Godsmack concert a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and Miranda his girlfriend was drinking a bunch of them, and he ended up grabbing one, and I was like, "Man, is that shit any good?" And he's like, "Well, the one that we just had was disgusting. What was that one? Like the lemonade one?"
"Oh yeah, she had a lemonade one.
And it was gross. So then you got the watermelon.
Well, no,
Punch
she
one.
was getting Mike's Hard.
Hmm.
I saw the Jack Daniel's Down Home Punch, which is
So
very
we're like,
similar.
yeah, Mike's
Okay.
hard.
Yeah, but so he hands me the watermelon punch one, and I was like, I like fake watermelon flavor, but fake watermelon flavor with really shitty alcohol, it just does not sound appetizing, you know? So I took a big drink of it, and man, I could drink, it's like drinking a Coke.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you know the sensation you get, like your favorite pop.
It's tingly.
Yeah, I mean, your brain is wired to really enjoy whatever your favorite pop is because that's your favorite pop. So you drink it, you just slug that thing.
Right.
I had a hard time giving it back to him because it was that good, you know?
Huh.
One drink and I about spent another $9.
Yeah,
Damn.
for sure, yeah.
I'll have to try it.
It's good.
It's not bad. Go into it with low expectations. You will,
Yeah, I will.
you will thoroughly be
Just go into
impressed.
like I'm gonna buy this and I know it's gonna suck.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
puke.
I'm gonna puke.
That's basically
I
how
mean-
I was when I tasted it, you know, and I didn't want to give it back.
For concert
So-
beer, it's good to just get loaded on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, if you're gonna spend $9, at least
it
get
strong?
drunk. At least get drunk really fast.
Like, is it strong though?
It's about your average, like 6% or so, but you
Oh,
can
that's-
just slam them.
Well, shit.
And they're the tall boys, so you slam one of those, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
Be a lot more satisfying than drinking like 9 Bud Lights.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nine-
I always go Budweiser. at
9
concert.
Budweisers later, and you're like,
I do too,
"Oh."
for sure. But Bud Light is like the one drink that I will not, or one beer that I will not drink.
I don't
Yeah.
like Bud Light.
It's like
I cannot
I
stand.
swear it's just
Bud
the
Light.
rag water off
It
the
fucks
bar.
my
For
stomach
sure.
up.
Yeah, me too. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Budweiser's not as bad, but
Bud
Bud
heavy?
Light. Next morning, I'm
Yeah.
For
fucking
sure. Yeah.
done.
100%. Totally agree.
I can get down on some diesel.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for referring to it as diesel fuel.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's a Bud Light,
Or Bud-
Budweiser.
or Bud Heavy.
You can refer
Yeah.
to to him as Fat Mark McGuire.
Bud Heavy.
Mark McGuire.
Yeah, my dad is Fat Mark McGuire.
I don't know your dad. I know Fat Mark McGuire.
Damn, Mark McGuire himself was a big guy.
Yeah.
But he was at least athletic.
Yeah.
My dad did like football and stuff in high school, and he always swore, he's like,
but nothing since.
yeah, when I was I weighed about the same when I was your age.
Hold
and
on,
I
hold
don't-
on. Did he ever look at you and say like, "Yeah, I was handsome once"? Like I look at you and tell you that all the time. Like I was an Adonis once. Do you understand now?
He's
Now you
never said
underst-
that to me. He's
now
always
you
just
understand
said
your father better.
he's always just said, yeah, I weighed as much as you at one point, and like
That's
I'm
his
sitting
way.
here at the time I was like 111 pounds or so, and I'm like, there's absolutely no way.
I remember when I
Like
hit
you were in
puberty.
football and you weighed this much. This was me like senior year of high school, and he's like telling me this. I'm like, you weighed this much and played football. I'm calling bullshit.
You would have got crushed.
He was a
I've seen
kicker.
pictures. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely calling bullshit. Like he wasn't bigger, but he had some muscle to him and
Yeah.
something
So he was like me.
yeah, I guess. Adonis,
Thank you.
Mr. Adonis over there.
That's me. I was at one time. Not now. Now I'm rocking that 2018 dad bod.
2018 dad bod.
2018 dad bod.
Dad bods are in.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
And I'm like, everybody's like, oh, dad bods. And I was like, yeah, I've had one forever.
Yeah, it's my bod.
Yeah.
No new year, new me. This is me right here.
Yeah. I forgot.
I started this trend.
I had it on quiet mode, so I couldn't see all the comments. So I'm sorry, people, if I wasn't responding.
Oh well.
Yeah. But I'm here.
I've been keeping track of them. There hasn't been too many. Just
Yeah. Just a few here and there.
yeah.
Making fun of you mostly, I would assume.
No, I'm just saying, hey. And Pod Daddy Nate blessed this podcast.
Yeah. Pod Daddy Nate.
He's Podmaster now. I don't know how many times I need to say
Podmaster?
this.
He'll always be Pod Daddy.
Does he have
to
the
me.
sweet robe?
No, so like on Podbean, he got like some, like I don't know, like medal for having so many episodes. There's so
No,
many
it was for
downloads.
listening to 500 hours worth of podcasts.
Okay,
Jesus.
Damn.
that.
Good God.
And it gave him the rank of master and gave him a gold star.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that'd be sweet if they sent you a plaque, too.
right.
Kind of like YouTube does when you, like, if you're, like, in the silver or YouTube gold,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they'll send you one of those things. That'd be sweet to just have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, check it out.
And all the YouTubers, like, they do, like, an unboxing video of their plaque. I remember Jared Dines did his, and he got, like, I think, oh, yeah, his 1 million subscriber plaque said Rob Scallon on it.
Oh, it did?
What?
He put Rob Scallon for because I guess they contact you before just so they can get all
Oh.
the information, right? And he's like, yes, I'm Rob Scallon.
There's a guy that I follow on YouTube that's a professional fisherman. When he got his, he turned it into a fishing lure.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Pretty shiny.
Yeah.
It's always funny to see those because then those videos get, like, you know, over 1 million views. And it's just them unboxing something they got awarded for having, you know, was it for it's a
Subscribers, yeah.
for like 1 million subscribers. So I don't know, it's just weird. But Jared Dines, he's a funny dude.
Yes.
For sure.
I had the chance to, you know, meet him and talk to him, but I
And
didn't,
you were too
I didn't
afraid.
take it.
Just go
Well,
ahead and say it. You were too afraid.
There's the normal nervousness of meeting someone that's big
Yeah, yeah.
famous. But he's not. He's just a regular gay.
You just gotta walk around like you own the place
And
get over that.
on top of that, he was busy, setting up his gear on stage and shit.
Right.
I'm a person, I don't like bugging people when they're at work, even if they're my friend. So like I didn't want to bug him. And I was literally, here's the stage. I am on the stage. I am right up on the stage, and here's Jared.
I'm like, hear my thoughts.
And I'm like, this is so cool. It was a cool show, but yeah, I was super nervous, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna bug him.
Right.
I'm not gonna bug him. And no, there was a guy next to us, and he was like, hey Jared, and asking him a question. He's like, and Jared's like, yeah. He's like trying to do his thing while talking, and it's like, I'm like, I'm not gonna be that guy.
Yeah. You're like, lesson learned.
You should have tried to touch his leg.
Just reach out.
He'd be like, you trying to touch my? No.
No,
I just want your ankle.
Yeah.
That's all.
just the ankle.
I just want to make sure you're stable.
Right. I would hate for you to fall into this crowd.
Yeah.
Are you like Achilles? I need to protect this.
Yeah. Just that face look.
Please don't call security.
Wow.
And some dude comes out with a machete. You're like, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
That was such a great show though. Like I really enjoyed Rest Repose. The only thing I didn't like was they brought their own light show, and it was just way too much. Like, it was like.
Yeah, and you're like,
You don't get down with the light shows?
No, I mean some, yeah, but like
At one
theirs
point,
was way too much.
At one point, did you think you were gonna have a seizure?
I was worried for myself and my girlfriend.
That's fair. No one else around you. Just
No,
just you
I have
two.
never had a seizure. She has, so I'm like, it's been like over a decade.
Close
so
your eyes.
Miranda said you were so nervous.
I was. I openly admit I was nervous to meet them all. I only met their merch guy,
Yeah.
Austin,
The merch gay.
but like
You were nervous meeting him.
I've been, yeah. I honestly, I was, because like him and Jared have the Dickie Dines show, and
Right.
so I've actually been on that show twice now, in terms of like user submitted stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Making fun of his tattoos.
Yeah, there's one. So they're like, hey, do you have any friends with shitty tattoos? Post the pictures here. And I'm like, I don't have any friends with shitty tattoos, but I got two myself. I showed him my Harambe and my Dat Boy tattoo, and
Wait, what's the Harambe?
it says for Harambe #dicks out.
Solid.
We here at Podcastrophe, we're Team Dicks Out for Harambe, our Lord and Savior.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's actually been to the shrine.
I have been to the
Where's
shrine
the
of
shrine?
Harambe.
Shit, where's...
At the Cincinnati Zoo.
Oh,
No
fuck.
shit.
The exhibit where that terrible child dived into Harambe's humble abode, I should say.
Humble
yeah,
abode.
They've got like a statue put up, and like, it wasn't long.
Was it tasteful?
Yeah.
His dick was not out.
No,
Oh.
well, you don't know that.
Are you allowed to get your dick out at the shrine?
I can't say for sure.
That's a
there was
legitimate question.
There was a lot.
I'll
of
make the trip.
There was a lot of children around, and I didn't want to go to jail because
That's
it's
fair.
2018.
Right.
Everybody's looking for a free paycheck.
but-
You know what I mean? So,
Everybody goes to jail in
but yeah,
2018.
they've actually got like a really neat statue, and there's like at the time, it wasn't long after that happened. There was like, I don't know, like 3,000 or 4,000 signatures of where people had come and like signed this plaque that they had put up on the side of the statue. So it was actually pretty neat to see. But R.I.P. my big man up there in the sky, Harambe.
He truly was the glue that held this nation together.
He was.
Like that's why they named it Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
And after Harambe, after that sweet prince left us, was taken from us.
Yeah.
This country really did fall apart and go
Absolutely.
to shit. Like not long after that, we had all the Trump shit. Like he got elected. Not to take sides or nothing, but
Right.
he's a joke.
They're all jokes. They're politicians playing.
You're 100% right.
I always am.
Well, this is offensive. I just googled Harambe
And it
statue,
says the...
and one of the pictures that pops up has the statue, and over the top of it says the bizarre and disgusting phenomena of Harambe.
What?
That's just
How's that still on the internet?
Some
Fucking
people
get
are
that off of there.
Some people are
Yeah.
just haters.
yeah. It's a beautiful statue.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
got a little baby gorilla on his back. Is that the same one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I see another statue.
That would have been
of
shitty if they would have put the kid on the back.
Underneath his fist.
Well, let me see here. There's a bunch of flowers, so I can't tell if
I would be
Oh yeah.
totally okay if
There
the
might
kid was
be a
underneath his
child.
fist.
There
Because
are
that's where he belongs.
there are children near the statue.
Dominance.
Oh, Harambe.
I like how there's kids pointing at the statue.
Right.
Oh, there's a kid touching it here. You better watch it.
It's gonna fall in
Just
again.
get smited. A lightning bolt comes down from the heavens.
No.
Oh, shit. You see a spectral gorilla beating its chest.
I absolutely love just all of the memes that came out after that. Like that is why I got this tattoo because
God.
I was going through a semi rough time mentally, and those memes like really always made me laugh.
So, real quick question. When are you not going through a rough time mentally?
I'm usually not.
Okay. I didn't say
unless
I
you're
didn't
unless
say
you're talk-
emotionally. I said
Yeah,
mentally.
okay, you're right. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to ask. I was like, are you talking about emotionally or
Oh,
oh.
shit.
I want where'd the dicks out thing come from? Like
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
Google it.
I was watching the Rooster Teeth
Actually,
podcast.
don't hit images though.
Google that.
I was watching the Rooster Teeth podcast, and Blaine Gibson on there is like, "What is a Harambe, and why are we taking our dicks out for it?" This was like 3
Don't
months.
ask, just do it.
There for a while there was hashtag dicks in. People like being against dicks
Haters.
out for
Oh
Harambe.
yeah.
Haters.
So haters were hashtag dicks in.
Yep.
They're just jealous.
Yep. God, we are a terrible species. Look at how far we've fallen. We value the life of a gorilla.
That was
more
such
than
a
we
great
va-
year for memes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it
for
was.
sure.
Have you noticed the calendars disappeared? There's no like meme of the month now. Like there every year there's like
What
a count.
calendar?
Do you remember the
There's a
meme calendar?
No.
Oh man. Oh, fucking normies over here.
Oh man, we missed out on something glorious.
No, so there'd be like a meme of the month essentially. Like there's like this one meme that everybody would share and like
Oh.
like manipulate themselves. And every month like they would just add that meme to the calendar.
Oh, is that meme ever?
Yeah, and this year they just stopped doing it. I think they stopped doing it like midway through last year.
Censorship.
Oh, so there's still the meme calendar. They just don't put that meme on there
I
anymore.
know that I just don't think anybody even bothers with it. I get because
Oh.
the meme calendar itself was a meme itself.
Oh, okay.
It was like an advent calendar of awesome.
Damn,
yeah.
I missed it. I love memes.
I love advent calendars. All those little chocolates really get me wound up.
Sometimes I just skip ahead.
Oh man, I see Beverly Hills Ninja over there in your movie collection.
Stop scoping his
Oh, yeah.
movie
Ah, it's
collection.
what I
Leave-
do. It's what I
leave him
do.
Be. Focus on the task.
We were
at
talking
hand.
about Bill.
Yeah, and there's a
Farley.
whole other shelf over
We're-
here too.
Oh my god!
Don't tell him that. He'll go over there.
We were talking about Chris Farley on our show the other night. We watched the Chris Farley all that.
When he
Oh, yeah.
came on as the chef with Ketchup Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chef Farley.
Chef Farley.
Was it Farley or?
No, it was Farley.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that in detail. My personal opinion is that if Chris Farley wouldn't have passed, that he would have gone down as the greatest comedian of all time.
Oh yeah.
That's my opinion. There's a lot of people
I
that
can
would
see that.
disagree. The generation before us would say, well, it's Belushi, not Farley.
Right.
And then like today, it's like Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell or you can plug anybody in there you want. But I mean, Farley nailed it. Every skit he did, every movie he was in. I mean, you just focused on him because he was so goddamn funny all the time. And it's weird looking back on like some of the stuff that he did. Like I've seen a little bit of the stand-up he did, and like some of the movies that he was in. Like obviously everything that he's doing is hilarious, but like if you really like psychoanalyze and really focus in on what he's doing, you can see like how miserable that guy was. And
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people had no idea. I mean, the people that were closest around him had no idea that guy was, going through so much stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing about comedians though. A lot of them, are like just depressed.
well, Robin Williams, perfect
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. And the only way to make them happy is to make other people happy.
That's right. Yep.
So you never know. Like you can just go ahead and assume that every comedian out there is extremely depressed.
Yeah, and it's tough, you know. But I have never personally seen a Farley skit or anything that he did that I just did not like damn near piss my pants.
Right. Even if they were like small little
Yeah,
roles.
I mean, it could be like 15 to 25 second long little
Yeah.
jaunts, and it's still hilarious.
Yeah, like you said, you nail it every time.
Every time.
And like the famous, Matt Foley skits and the motivational speaker.
Living in a van down by the river.
Yeah, I'm Matt Foley.
Eating government cheese.
And I'm a motivational speaker.
Last year, I actually came across
Hiking his belt
yeah.
up,
painting.
you know?
I came across a painting of that. There's a van, there's a river, and he's like washing his clothes in the river. And I ordered it, and it's just a giant ass poster. I have never taken out.
Are you fucking serious? You've had this all that
Yeah.
time and you didn't tell me? I will give you
Nope, it's mine.
my next born child for that.
It's mine. As much as I want your next born child.
Son of a bitch.
As much as I would love to hold your next born child over your head, like I have this.
I'll just make more of them.
Nate Phillips. Hopefully we see All Around Music Guys at the Doom Room Variety Show tomorrow night. I would love to, but I have to go to a wedding.
Oh man,
Damn.
it's quite a show. Nick's got planned tomorrow.
Yeah. Is that the one with the band you were talking about that's playing tomorrow? Or is that a different?
No, that's the same thing.
Same thing.
Nate Phillips' band is playing tomorrow. Walk Among Us. There's also going to be Bizarre Noir and a couple other bands. I'm not sure. I can't remember their names.
Wasn't one of them Eros?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be a comedy act with Pat Murray, and like a belly dancing, fire breathing show type deal.
If that doesn't get your dick hard, I don't know what will.
I think you guys will enjoy Eros. Their guitarist singer is our drummer.
Oh, nice.
So, and he hangs out on the podcast through the chat sometimes. And
Okay.
But they played at the Not Your Father's Hardcore show, and it was pretty damn good.
Has that already happened?
Yeah, that was last Saturday.
Damn.
That was in Attica, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I used to be in a band called Drench,
Oh, okay.
and
Are
they're
you
now
gonna bring that up? Are you going down memory lane right
yes.
now? Okay.
They're now Arcos, and we were supposed to play 2 years ago. We were supposed to play the Not Your Father's Hardcore,
Oh, okay.
and we were like, nope, not ready.
Not ready.
And then, we weren't ready because I was terrible at writing lyrics quickly.
And everything.
So I was just having a hard time because when my life is going good, I don't have much inspiration lyrically. So I was having a hard time.
You know how to solve that. Just turn to our boy Harambe.
Yeah.
Ask
dicks
and
out.
you shall receive.
Nate Phillips said,
Oh yeah, Zephaniah.
Yeah, Zephaniah.
Oh shit, Zephaniah is gonna be awesome.
yeah,
Do you need a towel?
Probably.
Okay.
someone
Use
was
your
talking
shirt.
about that. I saw online, and they were pretty stoked about it. And I don't think it was you. It was somebody.
Might have-
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. Zephaniah is big in this town.
Yeah.
They're from Fort Wayne as well, and
Nice.
they're power metal and think 3 Inches of Blood and Dragon Force and fucking Judas Priest and awesome. Just
Yeah, right over there.
they,
You're like,
they
did ask him if he needed a
they
towel.
do this thing. So both of their guitarists flip their guitars over their backs, and then they hug each other. And then while they're hugging, they solo on each other's guitars.
Oh, I thought you were going to go right into coitus.
I mean,
I'm really excited.
they're so close.
I thought you were going to say
that
double
might be
Dutch
happening.
rudder, but
Yeah.
That might be happening. One of those things might be happening. Either
All
way,
of
they're
them
soloing.
might be happening.
they're multi-talented.
Yeah.
Something's
Yes.
happening.
Something's happening.
Field day last year. Yeah, last year they were at the Doom Room for Field Day, and there was a LARP going on while they were during their set.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I was really hoping for the LARP to happen again this year. It did not.
I just want to watch you participate in a LARP.
Oh, I sucked. I was
It'd be-
terrible.
Yeah, I
They
don't-
just pop up out of nowhere. Be flash LARP.
Yes. Oh my God. That's going to be 2019's hottest trend.
Yes.
Flash LARP.
Start it.
Flash LARP.
Thank God.
Hashtag Flash LARP. God damn.
It's already gonna start. People are gonna be like, "Fuck! Why didn't we think of that?"
Have your foam sods at the ready.
Yeah.
Swords out.
The great thing.
Swords out. Hashtag
Yes.
swords out.
Hashtag flash LARP. Hashtag swords out. And the cool thing about that Streamlabs is you can download the app and you can go live from your phone.
Okay.
So you can. I did that at a concert down in Indianapolis a few weeks ago when we were there, and the quality came out great. I
Cool.
kind of just held it above everyone, so it looked like a house show.
Nice.
It was a
But-
house show.
Yeah, pretty much. They were supposed to play at the Hoosier Dome, and then the lady that does the booking realized she accidentally double booked, so they had to find a new venue. And it was actually a studio, and they kind of just had an open room, and they all just played in there.
I
That's
can't
cool.
stand the Hoosier Dome.
I haven't been there yet.
I haven't even been there.
It gets so cram packed. 1, 2, it is so hot. They have no AC.
Ugh.
They have no
Really?
AC and no lighting.
No lighting
The
either.
fuck?
I mean, the stage has lighting, but the whole venue itself does not.
What
And
the hell?
The only AC is backstage. So
Wow.
it gets hot in there. And I was going to go see the Anchor there a couple months ago, and I was like, or I wasn't going to go. I saw that they were playing there. I'm like, God damn it, really? The Hoosier Dome?
Yeah, I wanted to go too, but I had to work
Yeah.
because we had them on the podcast last year.
I
and
saw that.
I wanted to go say, "Hey," and they probably like,
Right.
"What the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
Be like, "That's all I'm gonna say."
We're those guys.
Yeah, we're those.
Those guys.
Yeah, we're those guys. We're those guys.
Those gays.
Yeah.
How was that show? I didn't get. I started. I think I started watching it, or I didn't start watching it, but I went back through your stuff.
Oh yeah. Well,
And I
that
saw
was
it.
like way before we integrated Skype video and
Okay.
everything. So it was just like the voice call,
Mm-hmm.
and
It was weird.
yeah, we were like we were working on the process of trying to get all that in, and it took us a while to get it figured out.
I spent like an entire because so after I saw the Rest Repost show, their singer got kicked out
Like right after.
like a couple days after.
Yeah, like immediately
and
after.
so I started talking about it
Damn.
on my show, and he started
Our show?
listening to the show. Our show, yeah.
Thank you.
He started listening to the show because I was talking about the Rest Repost show and talking about him getting kicked off, and I had already mentioned him well before, like, hey man, I'd love to talk to you and interview you for my show.
Right.
At the time, it was my show, so no correction there.
I wasn't going to. You back down there, Hoss.
So we coordinated and we got him on the show. Just a
Nice.
random Monday while I was on shutdown, and I spent the entire day trying to get Skype like perfectly set up on the OBS
Oh, yeah.
and all that. And
Pain in the ass.
oh man, what I ended up doing too. I for Skype I sent the audio to my Focusrite, and I had an auxiliary cord from my headphone and my Focusrite to a line in. And it was the weirdest. It was
Hey, it
the
worked,
weirdest little
though.
setup. Yeah, it worked. The audio was a little quiet for Skype, but
Yeah, we're just running the RCA to a 3.5 millimeter
okay.
to the
We-
back of the PC. It took us.
We
Well-
run the auxiliary out on this
Yeah.
board to this PC, and then
Okay.
the PC. When we do Skype, we send the
Skype back.
we send the Skype back in off of one of those little USB to RCA converters.
Well, we used to.
Back in, yeah, we still do that. It still comes
No.
in on here.
We just use this, and it goes straight.
Oh, you don't use the converter anymore.
No, because with that PC,
Oh, that's got an in and out, doesn't it?
yeah, with that PC, it was causing like a weird feedback.
Yeah, I had a little feedback on mine just from running from interface straight back into
Yeah.
the interface. And I had to throw like a lot of plugins and shit onto that track, and
Yeah.
just to clean it up and make it sound like bigger, better.
Right. It
Thought
sounded
it
great though,
good, yeah.
because I was at work and I was watching a little bit of it.
That was a really fun episode, and I've never done anything like that. I've never interviewed someone that I looked up to.
Right.
So that I was, once again, just like at the Rest Repost show, I was nervous as all hell, but it was fun, and he was a really fun guest because he much like Tyler does for me, he got to do all the talking for me, and
I do that.
it was cool to see him in that light, I guess.
Well, I was really disappointed, because I originally was going to go to that concert with Blaine and Miranda, and I ended up feeling like shit, and I had something going on, so I couldn't go. And then, not even 48 hours after the concert, Blaine texted me, and he's like, yeah, they just kicked Tanner out.
I sexted him.
Yeah, he texted me. We have a weird
Here's my dick, by the way.
Well, hashtag dicks out. We have a weird dynamic. it wouldn't be a podcast if I couldn't like fuck up like regular speech. So
Sometimes that's the best part about podcasts.
right. But he texted me and he told me, he's like, yeah, they gave him the axe. He's gone.
Damn.
And he would, you know, I had just recently been introduced to Rest Repose because of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was familiar with the Dickie Dine show, but the first time that he asked me about the Dickie Dine show, and I was like, why would I want to watch that fucking douchebag show? You know, I'm a very judgmental person. If I see something bad from somebody like right out of the gate that I don't care for, I will not go any further than that because I don't. In my opinion, I am so busy all the time.
Right.
I don't have time to really dive in and form my own opinion with a lot of stuff. So if I see something I don't like, I mean, I'm shutting the door right away. I don't want to go any further.
You're like, I've already wasted time.
But so he sent me some of their stuff like before the concert, and I was really getting into it, and I really liked his vocals. And then when I saw that, I was like, man, this guy either really fucked up or these people are nuts because I love this guy's vocals. I love the lyrics that he's writing. And then I had to work, so I couldn't be a part of the interview episode, but I'm really glad I didn't because Blaine and Tanner's back and forth was perfect.
Yeah.
I think I would have ruined the episode by asking too many questions because he just went, you know. So
that guy can talk, and I was okay with that.
Well, he's really well spoken too. I mean,
exactly. Exactly.
That also makes the interview process a lot easier too.
Yeah.
It does, especially if you've never interviewed somebody.
Yeah. Did you like prepare questions or did you?
No, I just went in.
Yeah.
I just went in and I started the live show like while we were discussing like, all right, how this is gonna happen. I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm about to go live. Click. By the way, okay, so here's how I do my show. I'm sharing right now is the moment where I just start sharing the feed, go about the basics of it, and then we just went into it.
Nice.
Well, see, on Podcastrophe, like our whole dynamic is we don't hone in and really focus on one topic. You know, I have so many useless facts and so many hobbies and so much shit that I'm interested in all the time. I don't like to bring. I mean, for a while, I was bringing the topic list every week and trying to kind of drive the conversation.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But it kind of got stale, like, to me. I got over it really fast because our best episodes are when we just focus on our guest and we all just have a good time. You know, because as much as I like to blow him shit and say that I'm his dom and he's my sub, you know, we're totally equal. I mean, I'm definitely the more dominant personality, but we're, you know, it's 50-50 everything.
Yeah.
But we always try and focus on the guest and just kind of let it happen. You know, if this was an episode of Podcastrophe and you guys wanted to talk about movies for 3 hours and it's good conversation, we're just going to roll with it and we're going to talk about movies.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of controversial opinions, especially on stuff like music. Like, I hate the Foo Fighters. I mean, I respect Dave Grohl a lot, but I do not like listening to the Foo Fighters.
See, a lot of people are like that. They respect him, you know.
I mean, you got to give the guy respect for what kind of a musician he is.
That dude's had a hell of a life.
Absolutely.
Nirvana, Foo Fighters.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, Queens. I forgot he was in there for a little bit.
Yep. Yeah. But, and then like anytime I've ever had a conversation with somebody about like how important the grunge age was to where music is right now, people always want to bring up Nirvana and say that Nirvana made grunge what it is. And I'm sorry, Nirvana did not make grunge what it is. It was
Temple of the Dog.
It was Temple of the Dog. It was Soundgarden. It was Pearl Jam.
If you don't have Soundgarden and Pearl Jam in there and you think Nirvana started it all,
yeah. I mean, they definitely capitalized.
You need to go back.
They definitely capitalized.
They definitely capitalized on the trend. But, you know, I mean, Kurt Cobain, whether he was murdered or, you know, committed suicide, I mean, people will still debate that in length. It doesn't really matter what happened. I don't think that if he would have died, they would have continued being as popular as they are right now. Because it's almost like a fad.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you're a high school age kid, you're starting to really discover what kind of music you like to listen to. And then it's like, bam, Nirvana. I love Nirvana. Just, you know.
Yeah, I think every high school kid, even when we were in high school, was just drawn to Nirvana. You'd see kids walking around with Nirvana shirts.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
and
mean,
sometimes you had to call them out because you're like,
they really branded it well.
A band T-shirt.
Well, they have that one iconic
smiley.
album.
Well, I mean, yeah, that album. But then they have that like smiley face T-shirt, and it's,
Yep.
Right.
that's the only shirt you see people wearing.
Yeah.
It's like the Wu-Tang shirts.
Yeah, people just wear Wu-Tang.
But Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck
No.
with.
That's
so
true. That's
well,
true.
Wu-Tang's for the children, so.
Yeah,
Back
around
to
that
what
gravel pit.
back to what Tyler was saying about our show, though, like how it's completely guest driven. That is how I intended the show to be from the beginning. Like I incepted this show, and I was like, I don't want to be like a niche
Right.
podcast. I want it to bring in guests, and the guests are the life of the show.
Which makes it difficult for us because we don't focus on one topic. You know, I like to talk about politics and a lot of controversial topics a lot, but you know, there's been weeks at a time, especially here lately, where I don't want to talk about politics anymore because
Yeah.
I'm burnt out. You know,
It's all you see.
I could not do a politic-driven show every week because I would just be miserable.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially with my strong opinions that I have, that would just not work. So
Miranda said you're a good person to get in a debate with.
yeah,
Especially her.
Blaine's fiance, like no matter what I say, she just loves to argue with me, and it's like a brother and sister relationship. Like no matter what I say, she's right 100%, and it's like no, like this is my opinion. It doesn't make me right or wrong, and it doesn't make you right or wrong, but this is how I feel about it. Well, you're wrong. I'm not touching you. You know, it's I mean, it's that kind of relationship. So
You did touch me.
I did touch you a lot.
Oh. Yeah, I don't really mind. I like that our podcast focus on music, but I like once we get our music guests on, talk about whatever the hell you want.
Yes.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
Like-
that's cool to see them in that different light.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're probably like, oh, great, another show where we're going to talk about our album.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them like to talk about their music the whole time. Some
Yeah.
of them like to get on.
And then
talk about
sometimes it's
whatever.
back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not just music, guys. Why can't you see that?
Yeah, I like to paint too.
Well, it's not just that.
I
you
like
know.
Minecraft.
It's just like what we were talking about though with Chris Farley and Robin Williams. There is
Right.
so much going on in all of these people that we look up to's lives. Like we as fans focus so much on what they're doing professionally that they don't get a chance to allow anybody to see what they actually like to do
Right.
besides what made them famous.
That's like I like to hear what, like when I listen to other podcasts. Like I just listened to Henry Rollins and the Joe Rogan thing today, and that dude is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rollins is a badass dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could care less if he talked about any of his music or anything else. He was talking about everything else, and it's like that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Like
Didn't he do stand-up for a little bit?
Yeah.
he's doing spoken word. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Spoken word
I love that.
stuff. That's like he did that back when he was doing Black Flag still,
Oh, that's awesome.
and now that's like he got big doing that too. Like I don't know, the dude's nuts.
But you know, we forget that these celebrities, you know, these artists are just regular people too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, we talked last week about how like Blaine and myself and then the guest that we had, Brandon Stone, have all had really good experiences or really bad experiences with bands that we've looked up to or that have really filled a void when we've had tough times in our life. And for me, you know, I've seen 30 Seconds to Mars one time in my life. I don't know that I'll ever go see them again, but that one time that I saw them made me a fan and then made me respect that band a lot. After they finished, they opened for Seether, and then Seether played before Audioslave, which
Oh, wow.
Audioslave is my favorite of all time. I mean, big Chris Cornell fan.
Yeah, it's like a super band too.
So I wasn't really familiar with 30 Seconds to Mars, and when I started to do some research before I went to that concert, I realized that Jared Leto was the frontman for that band, and my first response was, well, it's just another rich guy trying to make more money.
Right.
You know, it's just a spoiled rich guy trying
Yeah.
to be a musician and an actor at the same time. And they did a hell of a show. They had a hell of a performance. And at the end of their set, or at the end of their show, Jared walked up to the mic and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go get a drink of water." You know, because they put on a hell of a show. We're gonna go get a drink of water. Give us about 15 minutes, and we're gonna be out in the hallway. We've got tables set up. No one has to go at a certain time. Just line up, and we'll all be out there. And every member of the band spent at least 5 to 10 minutes with every single person
See, that's awesome.
that was in line. And at the end of the line, you didn't have to, or at the beginning of the line, I'm sorry, you didn't have to buy their CD. They would sign whatever you had.
Right.
So I just bought a CD. I was like, well, I don't have anything for you to sign, so I'll buy your CD so you can sign it. But it was so, it was so genuine, and it was so down to earth, and it was a legitimate conversation from person to person all the way. And then Jared was the last one. And then I walked away from that big string of tables that they had set up, and I looked down the hallway. It was at Conseco before they changed it to Banker's Life.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you know how on the ground floor, like the hallway wraps all the way around the building?
Mm-hmm.
The line was so long, it was wrapping around, and it was almost wrapping around the other side. There was that many people that got up out of the crowd to go get in that line.
Damn.
And they didn't finish with everybody until Seether was done playing. But they spent the same amount of time with every single person. And that meant something to me.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't a fan going in. I had a very adverse reaction to that band being what they were anyway, and how genuine they were and how good of a show that they put on. That made me a fan right away. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Zach said, "Rage Against the Sound Machine Garden."
yes.
But yeah, I know what you mean, because like I've gone to shows like that, and I went and saw Dustin Kinsrew of Thrice. He came through on a solo tour.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice. I would
dude,
love to see that.
Yeah, I
That
really
dude's like my idol.
dig his solo stuff.
Yeah, and he was playing down at the Old National in the deluxe room.
Mm-hmm.
And after the show, he stuck around and met everyone in that room.
That's badass.
Yeah, and I was like, my friend was like, "Be cool." I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." Like wide-eyed, I'm fine. Like fanboying out, you know.
Right.
And he shook my hand. He's like, "How's it going?" I was like, Hi."
Going.
Words.
Yeah, words will
Hello.
come out of this thing soon. I gotta go.
Some of the coolest bands I've seen that they'll just hang out in the crowd with you.
Yeah.
36 Crazy Fists,
Mm-hmm.
Battlecross.
Really?
Yes, they'll just hang out. They'll hang out with their merch the entire time. They'll hang out in the crowd while other bands are playing. Cool dudes.
Damn.
Super cool dudes.
It's kind of like that. I don't know if you guys watch football or not, but Marshawn Lynch got
Mm-hmm.
kicked out of the game one day, and he went and changed clothes, and then came up and hung out in the stands
Yep.
and
Nice.
watched the game from the stands.
Nice.
But you know, it's really nice to see, especially when you see the opposite of that. You know, you see what Kiss is doing. You see, you know, how much does it cost for a VIP package with Slayer? You know, where you're going to get a picture. They might sign like a poster that you might have to buy it,
Right.
and then see ya.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
You guys remember the crowdfund Megadeth did for I think the album was Dystopia, or no, it's not Dystopia. That's an Iced Earth album. Whatever their last fucking album was, they did like $1,500 for a 15-minute Skype lesson of whichever instrument or
Oh
some.
my
It was some
God.
shit like that. It was like, wow,
Why would they need to crowdfund this album?
fuck off, Megadeth.
Crowdfund an album. Like I've heard of.
That annoys me.
I've
when
heard
you
of
know,
bands doing that, like coming back after like 10 to 12 years.
You know, I really like when bands crowdfund albums because it obviously they probably already have the label support more than likely.
but they have money.
Yeah, but no, but the cool thing is, so crowdfunding allows the fans to get involved. They allow because a lot of crowdfundings have perks like, oh, you can get like a lyric signed handwritten lyric sheets.
Damn.
You know, that's cool memorabilia, and you know, and you're helping out because I mean, I guess they don't make a lot of money off of album sales. They don't make a lot of money off
especially
of ticket
now
sales.
in the digital age.
You can't
Yeah.
tell me they're not all millionaires.
You make your money off your merch.
You know, Megadeth, all of them are millionaires. So
It's true, though.
If
Let's
they-
be
if you
fair.
can't
Yeah.
pull,
If they've managed their money
if you guys can't pull together the thousands of dollars that you need to make the album, and you have to ask your fans to pay for it.
Dave
ahead of
Mustaine
time.
has to constantly talk shit about Metallica,
Yeah.
offhandedly because they're friends now. He has to randomly talk shit about Metallica offhandedly just so he can get his name out there.
Damn.
If they can't fund their own album,
He's
pull it
not-
out of your fucking savings account and fund the fucking album.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't.
That drives
I don't
me
di-
nuts.
I don't disagree with you there, but I see what he's saying too. Because I mean, it's like any crowdfund. It gives you as the fan or the
Well,
person that wants something
right.
to happen. It gives you the sense of I've contributed to this. I I may not directly own a part of it, but I am a part of this project, you know?
It just rubs me the wrong way because there's really good bands out there that don't have any money. They're trying to crowdfund their albums and can't get shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then somebody like Megadeth puts out a fucking crowdfunding to fund an album when you know that asshole's got millions of dollars in his bank account. And, he
And
can
they're
just pull,
asking for $1,500 for this one perk. And
they
it's
could
like,
just pull the money out of their bank account, make the album happen, and
Right.
hope they recoup it.
do you remember the Super Troopers 2 crowdfund?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the fastest crowdfunded thing ever. It raised like $3 million in 2 days. And one of the perks was $30,000, and you can actually get the trooper car.
What?
and the whole thing was the car itself was signed by the whole cast and crew, but the thing is you had to go pick it up.
You had to go pick it up.
Someone actually got that fucking
yeah,
thing.
Did they really? Holy shit. Yeah, the Chive really helped him out with getting that crowdfunding going. The Chive is
2
huge.
days.
So if the Chive posts anything, it's going to go viral basically
Right.
within their website and their own network.
I'm over the chive.
Get on that.
Yeah.
It's funny now, though. I mean, you say that because I remember reading that they were like the fastest crowdfunded thing ever, and now shit has totally eclipsed that. Like, shit being on Kickstarter for 5 minutes.
Do you remember the potato salad?
No, I don't remember potato
You remember the
salad.
potato salad? Someone's like, I want to try potato salad, but I really don't want to invest the $5 to make it. So his initial goal was $5, and so many people did it. He's like, all right, he started making
like
stretch goals.
$100,000 or something.
Yes, and you know, like he just kept making it bigger, adding incentives like stretch goals, and he's like, all right, if we get this far, like the more money we raise, the better ingredients we can use. He's like, all right, if we hit this, I'll rent out an auditorium and live stream the whole thing. And,
Oh my God.
And whoever donates can come. It was absolutely ridiculous, all for a potato salad.
Fucking hashtag 2018 right there.
Right.
This was like 2014. This is
was a
2014,
while ago.
You know what I'm
2015.
saying, though? That's
Yeah.
like something that we would do in 2018.
Let's do it. Let's figure something
I'm
out.
not
Yeah.
going to fucking crowdfund.
But it's not going to happen.
I know, because that guy already did it.
Assholes like Dave Mustaine have crowdfundings out
Yeah.
there for Megadeth albums.
Yeah, but, I mean, let's take this a step further. Who the fuck talks about Megadeth anymore anyway?
We are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly.
In a positive light.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I have never once sat down and be like, yeah, I'm going to listen to some fucking Megadeth today.
Yeah.
I mean, if Megadeth comes on,
I mean, I
like
still like
Symphony of
Destruction.
Destruction. Yeah. I mean, for sure, I'm not saying they have all their shit's bad, but, I mean, I don't ever wake up and be like,
They,
yeah, I think I'm going
Megadeth.
to crank
They
some
definitely have their
Megadeth
gems.
today. You know? I just don't.
they definitely
Right.
have their gems.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine's a douche.
Day.
Mega Dave.
You're right, Dave.
Mega Dave. A Mega Dave.
Mega Dave. That was a little like Creed. That was like a mix of Creed and Dave Mustaine right there.
Did you ever play the Creed drinking game?
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great game. Every time, what's his face? It's either was it the single fist or does it have to be the double?
Anytime
I think it's a double
anytime he
fist.
does
It have to
this
be the
or
double.
this, if it's double, it's 2 drinks.
Oh, when I saw them, that was like I would have been gone.
Yeah, you got to drink every time. Music videos.
I saw them in 2009. Excellent show,
There's-
minus him.
Scott Stapp.
Scott
That's his name.
Scott Stapp. Terrible. He sounds good on album. I will say that I like him on album. Live, he is complete shit.
So let me ask you guys this question. If Creed broke into the scene right now, got big right now, do you think that they would be as popular as they were in the late 90s, early 2000s?
I think they'd be right there.
I mean, do you think that they would have the same career if they came out today?
I could tell you that them and Nickelback would definitely tour together.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
They still have that cock rock sound, so
Yeah.
I think they'd be right up there with like Five Finger Death Punch.
And he'd be
so.
like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do Alter Bridge, too.
Yeah.
We're going to do
man.
Alter Bridge.
Well, Alter Bridge is Creed.
I know.
sorry if I offended any Five Finger Death Punch fans.
That's hilarious because next week we're gonna go see them in Bad Wolves. Yeah,
no.
I already got my tickets.
Can't stand them.
You can't stand that lineup, or you can't stand Five Finger Death Punch?
Five Finger Death Punch.
Is it because of Ivan Moody, or is it because of the whole band itself?
I don't know. I just don't like them.
Okay, that's fair.
Have you only heard the stuff on the radio?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know I have a lot of friends that don't like Five Finger Death Punch just because Ivan Moody is, moody.
Yeah.
See
I
what
got it.
See what I did there?
Hey, he's in the band. He's out of the band. What's going on? you know?
Right.
I don't know.
But
Very volatile person.
like I was talking to a guy that I work with about today. I can't fucking talk. I was talking about Five Finger Death Punch today with a guy that I work with, and I was letting him know that I was going to that concert next week. And he's like, man, I just can't stand a band that fucking does a bunch of cover songs. Like, I look at it from a different perspective. If you have an artist that has inspired you or that you look up to a lot as a musician and you're covering their stuff and you're doing it really well, that's all like a respect thing for me. I mean, obviously you're making money off of it.
Right.
But why would you knock somebody for that if they're good covers? Yeah. If it's terrible, yeah, I'm right there with you. I totally agree. But Bad Wolves covers of Zombies went #1 in the fucking U.S. for a reason. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a bad cover.
The world.
Yeah, thank you. The world.
It was the #1 rock single in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't go #1 in the world if it's a bad fucking cover. It just won't happen.
True.
So,
I don't know. I just something about them. I just don't like them.
So in the beginning they were a very different band.
Mm-hmm, yeah, for sure.
They were much more aggressive, much more in your face. Now they've definitely evolved into more radio metal, radio rock.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with
no,
that.
there's not. And there's a reason they're still around because people keep buying the records, people keep liking it. I mean, and
somebody likes them.
You are entitled to your opinion. Yeah. I am not gonna say you were wrong, sir. I like them. And they came out with an album a few years back called "Got Your Six," and I was like, "This fucking sucks."
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, that is definitely the worst album that they've done.
They came out with "And Justice for None" recently, which a lot of people gave them shit for that album title. But like, I actually like that album. I thought it was a redeeming album. Their singer Ivan Moody, completely sober on that album, and you can tell because he's singing about. I mean, it's still kind of very radio friendly, very radio rocky. Which I kind of tend to gravitate towards that sometimes, just because it's easy on the ears. It can be. It's easy to listen to because it's catchy. But they did not start that way.
No, that's like, I mean, definitely.
It was like Bring Me the Horizon. They really pissed a lot of people off.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I loved it when they changed because I didn't like them before.
So it was kind of like a happy...
So they came out with, what was the song? That's the Spirit. They came out with that album, and I love that album. I was like, this album is the shit.
I do like the song Sleepwalking.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Off Simp Eternal. I didn't like that album as a whole, but I love Sleepwalking.
See, I actually really dug that album.
Everybody told me I would love that album. That was before I heard That's a Spirit, and I was like, this is shit. Why would people think I like this?
Don't tell me what I like.
I'm gonna go back to listening to Bloodbath.
I'm excited for the concert next week because Breaking Benjamin has always kind of been a bucket list one for me.
I've heard they're really good live.
My co-host over here has got to see all the bands that I want to see live, besides like Temple the Dog and shit like that.
Have you seen Coheed?
Yeah, I've seen Coheed.
I would like to see Coheed, despite not knowing hardly any of it.
I got this at the Coheed concert.
Despite not knowing much Coheed, I want to see them live.
Yeah, so I saw Coheed, it feels like a decade ago, but I was really bummed that I couldn't go to any of the dates that they have on this tour that they're doing right now.
Well, I went to the last one they did. It was the 10-year anniversary of the Good Apollo on Burning. Played it
such a good
front
album.
to back. And I've never been to a concert where the whole crowd is into it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's literally like top 3 best concerts I've ever been to.
Nice.
I can
and
believe it.
They played with the Deer Hunter.
Hell yeah.
So, like, 2 of my favorite bands in one place.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen them.
But I'm really pumped because that's knocking Breaking Benjamin off of my bucket list.
Right.
I'm really amped up for Bad Wolves. I think that they eventually they will kind of push Five Finger Death Punch to the wayside.
It's funny because they're both kind of super groups.
But Tommy, I think if I had to assemble a band right now and I had to do it from people that are in those 2 bands, and all I had left was my front man, personally, I'm going to take Tommy Vex over Ivan Moody all day long. Moody's had all the staying sober problems, and then, he's kind of a diva anyway. I like Vex's style a little bit better. His vocals appeal to me, I guess. My ears like it better. It's the dumb way to say it, I guess.
It's a close tie for me, but I think I would end up going with Ivan just because I've heard all of his stuff outside of Five Finger Death Punch, and
I have too, But I think Tommy Vex has a longer road or an easier road to travel in the future.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't have as far as we know, he doesn't have as much of the addiction problems as Ivan has.
And I mean, time will tell that.
He's
but
not
I just
as
think
volatile
overall,
as a person.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what
He
I
is
was
much
getting
more
at.
agreeable as a person.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them, and I really like Nothing More. I mean, they're one of my favorite bands of the favorite new bands of the last couple years. Their vocals are so unique.
They just had to. I think it was last couple weeks ago we were talking about they had to cancel their tour because their singer was having some mental health issues and.
What?
Yeah.
That's a bummer because
Yeah.
I saw them with Papa Roach and he was insane. He was just crazy on stage and I loved it.
Said he was going through depression really bad, so he wanted to take time off and get right.
Well, I'm gonna be really butthurt if they're not there next week.
Yeah.
Well, so for I guess the next leg of this exact same tour,
see.
they added In Flames, and I'm like,
Oh shit! In Flames.
I'm like, why can't that be our show? I've always wanted to see In Flames.
Let's see, let me bring it up here really quick. Oh wait, did you say Nothing More?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was Nothing Nowhere. So never mind.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. I heard Nothing. And
I thought you were gonna say Nothing Face, and I'm like, they haven't been a band for like 10 years. What are you going on about?
like, where are you getting your information?
Yeah,
Old newspapers.
check some dates.
Wait,
there,
what's
pal.
a newspaper?
I work at the newspaper.
You know what happened at work the other day? Some guy brought in an old coupon that we had in the newspaper.
From when?
20 years ago.
Was there an expiration date on it?
No.
Oh shit!
So he brought it in, and one of the guys up front, it was like at the end of the day, he brings it back, and our boss is standing back there, and he goes, it was for a free key or something.
All right, how
And
much does a key cost?
$2. And
Cool.
back then it was probably like 50 cents.
Yeah.
But it had our address on it, and it was the address that we were at like 20 years ago.
Oh shit!
And my
That's
boss
not
was like,
valid then.
he's like, well, give it to him.
It's only $2.
Do you think there's someone that makes these coupons or that makes the newer coupons and they're like, all right, we got to make room for we got to phase out the old ones. Do you think these don't have expiration dates? What do we do? I don't know. Hopefully there's just none out there.
Yeah,
and they
hopefully.
forgot. Then there's that one guy's
Who keeps
I got a
those
coupon.
things? Yeah. Like, who
20
keeps
years
this
ago.
damn thing? Like, it was cut out of the newspaper, and he had it like...
I've been saving this for the right time.
It was
Yes.
pristine. It was still crisp. He had it laminated.
It's like, what in the hell?
I laminated it.
Our theory was he just got out of prison, and he was meant to get that key made before he went in.
So you got the newspaper in prison?
No, he had the coupon, went to prison.
Oh, you said he was meant to get it before you.
And then he got out, went home, got his coupon, and got the key made.
Wow.
Coupons.
I would have been like, if that, I got a coupon. All right, let me see. Wait, when did we start doing coupons?
I'm definitely glad we brought up Five Finger Death Punch because like that was actually gonna be something I brought up is like, what is people's beef with like radio rock?
Radio Rock?
Yeah, that's one of my biggest questions too.
I think it's just because it gets beat into your head so many times a day.
Yeah.
that it
But you
just
don't have
gets
to
annoying.
listen to it.
Yeah,
I know, but
I mean,
I
I don't listen to the radio.
I try not to.
I don't listen to the radio, so this stuff is like cool to me. It doesn't get beat into my head, and like I connect with it.
Yeah.
And I don't see why people phone vibrated. I don't see why people. There's so many people that are just like, this sucks, and I'm just like, man, I really connect with these lyrics. I really connect with the way the music is going, with the singing, this moment right here.
I think that
And
type
that-
of rock
that's
is
all that
my
matters,
is
though.
my country. Like,
Is your
Yeah.
country?
like I don't mind country, but I can't listen to that kind of like rock.
Now
all
wait,
day.
wait a minute. Are you?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say pop.
Are you
like
drawing
pop
the line
country.
between country and pop country because that's where this really needs?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can draw a line there.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because there is a legitimate difference.
But I can actually tolerate pop country to a point.
I'm
But
sorry.
you can't tolerate radio rock.
I can tolerate it.
Okay.
But they're on my same level to me.
God.
I think a lot of it though depends on the station too,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because there's some stations that are just set on playing, obviously.
But if it's
just
like
hits,
the
but
90s like rock, that's fine. I like that stuff. But it's like the new I don't know what it is. It's like the new rock I just don't like. But if they play in like the old '90s stuff that was the same back then, I like it.
What if? Like that?
I'm gonna
No.
tell you right now, that was the worst song they played live, and not because of the band. Not because of the band.
But because of him.
No, he decided to like accentuate the we know the part where he's like continuously saying "what if."
Oh, yeah.
Like he's like "what if," and like there's like meanwhile like Mark Tremonti's just like doing his thing, being a complete
He's
badass.
probably over there like, what are you doing?
And like, like what Scott Stapp is doing is just not helping.
You've
the
ruined my
music at
fucking
all.
life, Scott Stapp.
We need to make that into a T-shirt too. You've ruined my fucking life, Scott Stapp.
I'll buy it. You ruined my life, Scott.
Like for me, radio rock. I just if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
No, that's fine.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like there's some people that I know kind of in our friend circle that are like so. I mean, get like mad if you say that you like Five Finger Death Punch
Or Disturbed.
or Disturbed or bands like that, and it's like, okay, I get it, you don't like them.
Why do you gotta shit all over me
Yeah,
for like?
well, yeah. I mean,
Like-
like just because, like, I don't know, you might like to eat tangerines. I fucking hate you because you like tangerines.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Fuck tangerines.
Fuck you and your opinions.
It's like, come on, man. Let's turn the dial down
Yeah,
from 11
yeah.
down to about a 4 because it doesn't really. I don't really give a shit what you like.
Right.
You shouldn't really care what I like.
Let me tell you.
I don't
because-
care about your fucking opinion.
Well, I mean, you're gonna like what you like, and I'm gonna like what I like,
Exactly.
and as long as we can cohabitate, that's all that really matters.
Let
I
me
mean,
tell
we don't
you.
have to
Right.
like the same thing.
So when that viral video came out, Disturbed's greatest hit, when that came out, I had 28 people post on my wall that exact same fucking video because I like Disturbed, and I'm
Yeah.
and I do too. I mean,
everybody knows. Everybody in my friend group knows I like Disturbed. Everybody like in my friend group hates Disturbed. So they're
I
like,
used to get down with Disturbed.
Yeah, I don't mind Disturbed.
Did you get down with Disturbed, or
Yeah.
did you get down with the sickness?
No, I used to
Well,
listen
I
to Disturbed
definitely
all the
get
time.
Definitely get down with this.
It just amazes me that he still has those two little.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they actually released a new single. I keep going away from the mic. They released
you
a new
know
single.
how to use a fucking microphone,
know.
Blaine, for the love
I'm
of
not used to
God.
having a table.
You're
Normally,
used to just taking it with
It's
you,
this
right?
room. Because
what do
you'll
you
have-
think, Aaron Sperling? We finally have a table.
You would think like when we have people in here that are vocalists, they would know how to use the microphone.
Yeah.
But no, they're still like, "Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah. And we're like, move it closer.
Closer to your face."
I'm a
What?
I'm a
They'll be
vocalist,
like-
so I get
Yeah. They'll be like all the way back here.
Here?
No, I'll be like, move it closer, and they'll go like this.
I don't know how to use a microphone all of a sudden, even though that's what I do.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But like Disturbed for
You can put 'em
sure.
down.
It's like I mean, I don't think anybody in good conscience could say that Disturbed should be in the top 100 greatest bands of all time. I mean, I'm sure that the four of us in this room can agree on that right now. They should not be in the top 100.
Of all time? No,
Of all
I
time.
don't think so, no.
But you know, of the last 25 years,
That's a pretty select list.
right for sure. But Disturbed has been successful enough in the last 25 years. I'm just going to say 25 years because it encompasses a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not give them props for how successful that they've been?
Right. I mean, they're still around.
They're still around. They're
Every time they drop an album, it debuts at #1.
absolutely.
Damn.
They're
So
one of
how-
5 bands that have done that.
How bad of a band is it if you are debuting albums at #1?
Can't be that bad.
You can't be that bad. So, I mean, I totally agree with Blaine over here that just the unnecessary shitting on Disturbed for no reason. I mean, it's unwarranted.
Right.
It's metal elitism.
Well,
That-
and that's
all it
it's
is.
just bullshit because they're obviously more talented than I am. They know what they're doing. They're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it well enough to get paid. You know,
right.
It's
why
me-
you got to shit on them? Just don't listen to them.
It's
Exactly.
metal elitism at its finest. You know, like,
It's like I don't like Nickelback, but a lot of people like Nickelback. I have a friend who doesn't like Nickelback, but he went to a Nickelback concert and said it was one of the best concerts he's ever been to.
And I've
That's
heard that.
awesome.
I've
That's
heard that
absolutely
they
awesome.
actually put on a hell of a show.
Yeah. And I, the way I feel, like if I don't like music, I'm not gonna shit all over it. I
you
really
just
don't.
won't listen to it.
I mean, I kind of shit on Nickelback and Creed from time to time, but
It's just fun.
yeah,
Honestly,
it's
it's
just
fun.
fun. And
I like Creed, and I'll shit all over.
but the point of music is for people to connect with it.
Absolutely.
And you know, some songs help people through the days. Some songs make people happy.
Mm-hmm.
Some songs make people angry. I know when I'm driving and I get behind some asshole that's going like 10 miles an hour and the speed limit's 35, I got to put on some metal because it calms me down.
It's really cool how music, like, you find music that fits your mood, and that somehow like diminishes the mood.
It
Yeah,
can
yeah.
also
in a
amplify
good
it.
in a good way.
It can also
Right.
amplify it.
It can, yeah. Like,
I mean, because if Walk by Pantera comes on when I'm sitting behind somebody in traffic, like I'm fucking amped up.
Oh yeah, you're the guy that you see in the rearview mirror going
Yes. Yeah.
beating the steering wheel like.
Yeah. Like fucking just ripping the steering wheel
Yeah.
off and throwing it out of the car.
Oh my god.
The one that I liked it, and it makes me a little bit of a hypocrite, but I like to shit on AC/DC.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
AC/DC is the most overrated band of
I
all
loved
time.
AC/DC.
I've been
when I was
seeing
a
a lot
kid.
of people shit on AC/DC lately.
All of their original stuff is all the same. It's all the same song, just edited a little bit different.
I liked
The
them.
beat's the same.
Have you
The
ever
riff's
seen
the
him?
same.
Have you ever seen him sing live? He's like,
Yeah. So I mean I give a lot of respect to AC/DC, but I don't like to listen to them.
yeah,
But I don't shit on them 24 hours a day. You know?
right.
I liked them when I was a kid. Like classic rock, AC/DC was like one of the go-to bands. Now it's
I just can't listen to it. I
It's
can't.
not- I
It
don't-
puts me in a bad mood.
I have it on a playlist on my phone, and I just skip it every time.
Well, it's everywhere. You turn on a sporting event, it doesn't matter what team
I think,
it is.
I think they sounded better when they were younger.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I can't remember what song it is, but they have a music video where they're just like out in public and they're sitting on these like little platforms. They're like little circle platforms, and some guys playing the bagpipes, and I think that stuff, like that AC/DC was good, but like
that'd be the Bon Scott era.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but like the later stuff, you know, when they got more popular and everything, and just just blew up,
Right.
and you see like AC/DC everywhere, and people are wearing the shirts, and the shirts died out though.
Right.
I noticed because when I was when we were in high school, people were wearing AC/DC, and I'm like, do you even know who AC/DC is?
It's the AC/DC and Pink Floyd shirts.
Yeah,
Along with the Nirvana shirts.
They're like, I've had this shirt for a while. I'm like, it looks brand new.
You literally bought that at Hot Topic yesterday. Let's not argue this.
So-
It's still got the tag on it.
I googled the 100 greatest bands of all time. Rolling Stone has an article on it. I'm not going to go through all these. What do you think they picked as number one?
Zeppelin?
Nope.
Or it's either Zeppelin or Rolling Stones.
Oh no.
No.
I think they're both in
Katy
the top
Perry.
10 though.
Katy Perry.
Let's see where Zeppelin was. I just saw it. I don't think they were in the actually. I don't think they were in the top 10.
What?
Wow.
Not even in the top 10.
Wow.
It's Rolling Stone, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that write those articles are pretty dumb.
Zeppelin's 14.
That's pathetic.
What did you say the other one was?
I was going to say either the Stones or Zeppelin should be number
Stones
one.
were
Man,
Oh, I bet it's the Beatles. I
What's-
bet they have the Beatles at number one.
it's the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean...
Are we going to fight?
It's
No,
the
we're
Beatles.
I mean,
the Ramones was at 26.
I just saw
Wow.
the Stones.
The Who 29.
Nirvana, they have it 30.
See, that's just dumb.
You want to do top 50? We'll do top 50.
Sure, let's do top 50.
50, the band.
Okay.
I never heard of them.
The band.
49, Elton John.
Okay, that's fair.
48, Run DMC.
Nope.
Okay.
Get him out of there.
Yeah.
47, Patti Smith. 46, Janis Joplin.
Okay.
45, The Byrds.
With a Y.
44, Public Enemy.
Okay, get him out of there. Not a rock band.
43, Sly and the Family Stone. I don't think I've ever listened to him. 42, Van Morrison. 41, The Doors.
I can't believe
40, Simon and Garfunkel. 39, David Bowie. 38, John Lennon. 37, Roy Orbison. 36,
it's a
Madonna.
little unfair.
35 is Michael Jackson.
John Lennon.
I think Michael Jackson should be in the top 10.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, Jackson.
That's insane.
MJ, the
34,
king of pop, should be in the top 10.
Yeah.
34 is Neil Young. 33 is the Everly Brothers. 32 is Smokey Robinson and the Miracle. 31 is Johnny Cash. 30 Nirvana, which I don't know how Johnny Cash is lower than fucking Nirvana.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. I think the Doors should have been a little higher too.
29 The Who. 28 The Clash. 27 Prince.
Why is Prince?
Prince should
Prince
not
is
be
not-
hhere than MJ. Or
No,
lower on the... You know what I'm
absolutely
trying
not.
to say.
Right.
Absolutely not.
26 The Ramones.
Okay.
25 Fats Domino.
Let me see that picture again.
They're all weird ass pictures. They're all like characters.
Are these like paint? Oh, they're
Yeah.
paintings.
20
I thought that was an actual picture. I was like, what the fuck?
24,
going
Jerry
on?
Lee Lewis. 23, Bruce Springsteen. I don't know about Bruce Springsteen.
So this is just bands of all time.
yeah, Rolling
not-
Stones
okay.
artists of all time.
Okay.
I guess. is
Yeah,
what
I
they
got you.
22 is fucking U2. I don't agree with that one bit. Not a huge. not a huge-
Bono and shitty U2 should not even be
No.
in the top 100.
I'm not a fan of U2.
They really made my top number one
You
shit
know who
list
else
when
I-
they snuck that album
You
in
know
on
who
the
else I
iPhones.
hate? Fucking Coldplay, because they sound just like U2.
Oh, I hate Coldplay.
I actually would rather listen to Coldplay than U2. I'm not saying
Yeah, yeah.
Coldplay is good, but I
I'll have
for
to-
sure.
I'll
fucking
agree on
Bono's
that.
vocals, man, make me want to take a nap. Like,
Bono, let's
let me-
open this box of food. Nah, Peter, let's save it for the starving children.
Right. Let me go get a turkey sandwich and take a fucking nap because I don't want to listen to you.
21 is Otis Redding.
Okay.
20 is Bo Diddley. 19 is the Velvet Underground. 18 Marvin Gaye. 17 Muddy Waters. 16 Sam Cooke. 15 Stevie Wonder. 14 Led Zeppelin.
I like how the artist depiction of Stevie Wonder is him going,
Oh yeah, Wonderface.
yeah.
13 is Buddy Holly. 12 is the fucking Beach Boys, which I don't know.
Dude, the
About
Beach
that.
Boys and the Beatles, they kind of had like a little beef going with each other for during that era.
I think the Beach Boys were kind of,
And then enter the monkeys.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
11 is Bob Marley.
Okay.
10 is Ray Charles. 9 Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
8 Little Richard.
How does Little Richard get above Aretha Franklin?
Yeah.
know.
R.I.P.
You know, for the
Aretha
longest
Franklin,
time-
by the way, she
Yeah,
just passed
yeah.
away.
Yep.
I used to get James Brown and Little Richard mixed up because they were like basically the
Yeah.
same dude.
Well,
Right.
7 is James Brown.
Nate Phillips has hashtag cold plagiarism.
Cold plagiarism.
Nice.
That's great.
6 is Jimi Hendrix.
Hendrix should not be
I
above
don't think
Zeppelin.
he should be in the top
No.
10 either.
Mhm.
He's good, but not top 10 good.
I would say definitely top 25.
Yeah.
Not top 10 for sure.
I think top 10, like they should have rounded out the top 10 as like the most influential of all time.
You're getting really close to number one, and I have yet to hear one name that should have been on this top 50.
5 is Chuck Berry. 4 is the Rolling Stones. Who on Rolling Stone magazine.
I know who you're talking about.
3 is Elvis Presley.
Okay.
2 is Bob Dylan. 1's the Beatles.
Fuck Bob Dylan.
Not fuck Bob Dylan. You got to give Bob Dylan a lot
I'll
of
give
respect.
I'll give him respect and credit, but fuck
Not
Bob
number
Dylan.
2 respect.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Definitely not number 2.
You know
but
who's not on this top 50?
Pink
Fucking
Floyd.
Metallica. Where the fuck is Metallica?
Let's see if I can find Metallica. Let me go back here.
Where was
What?
Pink Floyd?
Pink Floyd was on here. Do you know the whole fucking list? I can go through the whole goddamn
Hopefully
list.
they were number 99.
99.
Let me figure out how to
Pink
get
Floyd
back
is
here.
garbage.
I think there's only about 2 albums I like from
There's
Pink Floyd.
51.
50,
God
oh,
damn.
51.
How?
So here, I'll just keep going. 52 Queen.
Oh, what the?
Queen is 52?
Queen should be in the top 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
You know,
Easily.
I had this discussion today at work. Who would you say is the greatest frontman of all time? And I said, well, me personally, if I was going to assemble a band right now, you know, I'm pretty biased. I would pick Cornell or Eddie Vedder. But if I had to pick the greatest performer and just overall frontman of all time, it would be Freddie Mercury without question.
Oh,
How
yeah.
could you pick anybody else?
You can't.
So,
So Public Enemy made it to the top 50.
but Queen did not.
Dr. Dre is 56.
God damn. This,
I
see,
mean,
this is why I don't read
I feel like
Rolling
50
Stone
through.
articles.
I feel like 50 through 100 is better.
I get it because it's the greatest artists, not bands. Fuck.
Aerosmith 59.
Mm-hmm.
The Sex Pistols 60.
Metallica 61.
Should have been top 50.
You don't need to go
Easily.
any farther after that. I'm just disappointed.
Tina Turner.
I'm not even
Turner.
mad. I'm just
Is
disappointed.
Pantera anywhere on that list?
Not yet.
Al Green's picture is just.
See, the Temptations should have been higher than 68. I
Yeah,
would've
for
thought.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like this is backwards.
The Police 70.
That's okay.
Frank Zappa.
Frank Zappa. AC/DC 72.
I'll accept that.
Instantly triggered.
I saw your face just.
Instant fucking triggered.
Radiohead.
73 is Radiohead. I don't know.
Hank
Hank
Williams,
Williams
at
is
74.
I don't think Radiohead
Hank
should
Williams
even be on
Sr.
this
or
list.
Junior?
I would assume
Senior.
senior.
Okay.
No, third.
It's on the way.
Eagles 75. Beastie Boys 77.
Stooges.
Four Tops. Elvis Costello. Drifters. Creedence Clearwater.
Oh, what the hell?
82. Eminem's at 83.
Where's some Gladys Knight and the Pips?
I'm looking for Creed. I don't know where Black Sabbath is. Black Sabbath is 85.
How is Black Sabbath 85?
Where is
no-
Creed? That's
Where
the only
is-
question.
Tupac's 86.
Is Biggie 87?
I haven't seen Biggie yet. Jay-Z's 88.
God damn.
Hova.
I don't feel like Jay-Z's that
It's your boy.
is the greatest. I don't know.
At one point.
Greatest in the world.
Not of all time, though.
At one point, he could have
The
been.
Yardbirds.
Carlos Santana, 90.
I mean,
He's pretty good.
I
Tom
mean-
Petty, 91.
I agree. You should include the Yardbirds on that a top 100 list for
I don't
what
think Tom
for what
Petty should be on this
for
list
what
at
they
all.
eventually became.
Yeah.
you
Tom
know.
Petty should be top 50.
I like Tom Petty, but I don't know.
I don't know that he should be top 50.
Top
I
50.
maybe would put him around 75.
Guns N' Roses, 92.
They shouldn't be in the top 50 either.
This is the top lower 50.
I don't know. I'm
But,
just
yeah.
saying.
Nine
Nine
Inch
Inch
Nails,
Nails.
94.
Nine
That's
Inch
kinda
Nails made that?
surprising, Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, one of the best live shows I've ever seen.
They beat Leonard Skinner.
Oh, what? This
That's
ain't America.
surprising. We know
They
that.
beat Diana Ross and the Supremes is 96. How does that make any sense?
Who wrote this article?
Yeah, and
Rolling
that's what I was about to
Stone?
ask. Like, this is a joke.
Like, was this a group effort?
REM is 97.
R.E.M. shouldn't even be on there.
Curtis Mayfield.
Queensryche,
Carl
number
Perkins.
99.
100's Talking Heads.
Damn.
That's a silly list.
Yeah.
It really
was
is.
that like a collective?
I don't know. 100
was
greatest
that-
from 2010.
No, I mean, like,
run
was
with
that a
Rolling
group
Stones.
effort? Who wrote that?
Oh, I don't know. It's Rolling Stone.
Like, but who at Rolling Stone?
I don't know. By Rolling Stone, it says.
Group effort.
Like, some of those were like one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
What did they base this off of?
Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, just misery and bullshit.
They probably took a survey at work.
The essays on
And
the
then
top
just-
100 artists.
There's like a bunch of just jackasses that are like, oh yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for Madonna. I like her new gold teeth.
Yeah. And that one video she put out with like the weird point boobs.
Oh yeah. Remember that time
They
she
look like
kissed
party
Britney
hats.
and Christina?
It didn't really say how they got
Yeah,
to
that's
this
like
conclusion.
number one status in my opinion.
Yeah,
The record label probably paid to put them on the list.
Yeah.
probably.
Well, they bid on it.
Sounds like Rolling Stone.
But that, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm glad that we went through this because it just, I mean,
Oh, now you're going Billboard?
I could
It's
go.
way different.
I could go right now and I could write down the 100 greatest of all time.
Guess who's still number one?
The Beatles, is it? Yeah.
It's always going to be the Beatles.
Yeah.
I could write out my greatest of all time, top 100, and every one of us would have a different list. I almost guarantee it, and that doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't make any list right or wrong,
No.
you know.
Right.
But people get so fucking triggered when you talk about it. It's like, man, I just want to have a discussion.
Yeah.
This Billboard one might actually be sales though, because it's the
Oh, yeah.
Billboard. So it's probably their top all-time.
Who's number one? Whoa.
Beatles is number one.
I mean 100.
Oh.
Is Thriller
the
still
Fifth
a-
The
Dimension?
fifth
Is
dimension.
Thriller
think
still the
this is
top
50
selling?
cents at 99.
No, I think Post Malone beat Thriller out.
Post Malone beat Thriller.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think I read that article the other day.
Wow.
Fucking John Denver's on this list.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Hell yeah!
I think this is
John
must be
Denver's full of
sales.
shit, man.
West Virginia.
Kanye. Yeah, I think these are like sales or something.
Bob Dylan's always like,
I hate Bob Dylan.
yeah.
I'm always gonna put the Beatles on the top of my list.
Yeah, Bob Dylan, yeah. That's how he sounds like.
And
Super
the
nasally.
times they are fucking Bob Dylan. Playing the fucking accordion, harmonica, fucking Yaz flute. He's on one leg like Jethro Tull. Doing all that shit at the
Up there
same
like,
time.
hey,
Ugh.
look at me.
Like curly hair.
I play the
kazoo with my a-hole.
Excellent writer. Terrible.
I look
fucking
like a
singer.
rat. He does look like a giant
Yeah.
fucking anthropomorphic
does.
rat
Jesus.
with
fuck.
curly hair and a receding hairline.
Yeah. The Hot 100.
Guess what's number one?
Drake.
Eva
In My
Longoria.
Feelings by Drake.
Eva Longoria.
Oh, I thought we were going Maxim. I heard Hot 100 and I got triggered.
Hot 100.
I think Eva Longoria is pregnant.
What?
She's pregnant?
She's like 70 years old.
No, she's not.
I know.
She's 70.
It's an exaggeration to get my point across.
I just saw like a meme or something the other day.
Eva Longoria's Prefnart, huh?
I think so. She's all pregnant. Let's find something to piss us off on Billboard charts.
Oh, is there categories?
Let's search for triggers.
Hot Latin songs.
Ooh, I'm triggered.
Hot rock songs.
Hot rock songs. So the Hot 100 is pretty triggering.
Yeah, it's pretty
Because
poppy.
number one's Drake and My Feelings.
Number 2 is Maroon 5,
I don't
featuring
mind-
Cardi B.
Okay, I don't know about that.
My
I actually
favorite
like that
videos
song.
right now are the In My Feelings challenge people getting run over by
Yes.
cars.
Yes.
It's just,
Yes.
it's so
or
satisfying.
them just like
This will
they,
trigger me.
they don't slow down enough, so they just eat shit when they get out of the car.
right?
Oh,
What do you think of
God.
that douchebag 6ix9ine?
I don't know.
What a douchebag.
He's just one of those guys.
He's one of those gays. He's a 2018
He's got
gay.
6ix9ine
One of those
tattooed on his
gays.
face like 69 times.
Came from SoundCloud.
He's number 5 on the top 100.
Check my SoundCloud out. I've got some hot tapes,
Got
some
some
fire beats.
And what cracks me up is like they're in the top 10 on these charts, and they still have their SoundCloud up.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, SoundCloud's my main thing,
The
man.
SoundCloud's fire, yo.
SoundCloud's awful. I hate SoundCloud.
I don't ever
you
get
guys,
on SoundCloud.
you guys want any of my mixtapes?
Got fucking cassettes
They're
in
actually,
his trunk.
yeah, cassettes.
yeah.
Cassettes are coming back too, because now like vinyls are back on the rise.
Cassettes
Well-
never sounded good though.
See,
They're just like for collectors.
See, I disagree though. I've got a buddy of mine that's got a pretty extensive sound system set up, and he's got like an entire collection of his original cassettes.
No, it's a fact. Cassettes are lower quality.
No. I'm not arguing that at all. Don't misunderstand me. But the setup that he has, the cassette when he plays his cassettes versus playing his vinyl, his fucking cassettes sound better than his vinyl does.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird as shit.
He should plug his record player into the same speakers he's got the cassette player.
It's just like an old JBL speaker. It's like one of the old boom boxes. But I mean, cassettes are just so much cheaper.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
the
Here we-
market's not
here we
flooded with
go.
shit right now.
Zach, he's been in the comments, just sent us a list on Ranker, and it was crowdsourced of the top 100.
Okay.
So I'll start from 100.
Oh, good.
Oh, great.
Hashtag content.
Is it top 100? It is top 100. Hashtag content. Okay, this is, wow. Yeah, this is looking a lot better.
That's good.
According to the people.
I think we should go get drunk and thought about it.
So number 100 is Cheap Trick.
Okay.
99 is The Moody Blues. 98 Judas Priest. 97 Linkin Park. 98 fucking Paul McCartney and Wings.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking wings,
His wife Linda. 95 is Blondie. 94 White Stripes. 93 Yardbirds. 92 George Harrison. 91 Blue Oyster Cult. 90 is Oasis. 89 is Jefferson Airplane. God, they had what voted the worst rock song of all time. We Built This City.
That's a great song.
Was that Jefferson Airplane or Jefferson Starship?
That was
What's
Jefferson
the difference?
Starship.
Starship. 88 is Rage Against the Machine. 87 is Soundgarden.
I'd like to see that a little bit lower.
Yeah,
Can you vote?
yeah, you can
Give
vote
him a
them.
vote. Give him a vote. Vote him down.
Vote them down.
God
Vote 'em down. 48% of people agree with you.
At least somebody does.
Yeah. 86, The Cars. 85, Sex Pistols. 84, The Cure. 83, The Band. 82,
I
Kansas.
don't know that one.
81, Prince. 80, Bad Company.
Vote
Okay.
Prince up a little bit higher.
Go ahead. And throw
48%.
Go ahead and
48
throw
agree
a
with
down
me.
vote on Prince for me. I can't stand Prince.
Won't let me downvote.
God
Oh,
damn.
darn. Vote's already been cast.
Number 80 is Bad Company. I already said that.
Bad
Shit.
Company on Bad Company by Bad Company.
Yeah.
Yes.
79 is Crosby, Stills, and Nash. 78 is Steely Dan. 77, Grateful Dead. 76, The Smashing Pumpkins. 75, Styx. 74, Alice in Chains. 73, Talking Heads. 72, Paul McCartney. 71, Chicago. 78, Janis Joplin. 69, Electric Light Orchestra. ELO. 68, The Velvet Underground. 67, Buddy Holly. I almost say Buddy Holiday. 66, Alice Cooper. 65, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Again, 64, Michael Jackson.
Vote that up.
I did. 63, Foreigner. 62, Steve Miller Band. 61, Heart.
Wait, how could you possibly put Steve Miller Band ahead of Michael Jackson?
How could you ever put Steve Miller Band on
I'm just
this
going to vote
list?
down.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's fair.
I voted down. 52% of people agree with you.
How is it even on the...
Number 60 is Yes.
Yes.
59, Scorpions. 58, Jethro Tull.
Okay. Little Yaz flute.
Yeah. 57, Ozzy Osbourne. 56, Santana. 55, Bon Jovi. 54, Boston. 53, Def Leppard. 52, Billy Joel. 51, Kiss. So
Kiss is another one of those bands I just never really could...
I have always not dug Kiss.
Right.
I just can't do it.
I respect them,
Yeah.
but
They're pretty fucking douchebaggy people.
yeah, but they helped push along rock and roll a little bit.
They're more of a brand than a band.
But when he starts
Yeah.
doing
I
starts
mean,
doing the
that's a good
tongue
way to
thing,
put
I'm
it.
out.
Yeah.
Number 50, the Allman Brothers. 49, Neil Young. 48, Genesis. 47, Iron Maiden. 46, Simon and Garfunkel. 45, REM. 44, Green Day.
Yeah. That's
I
kinda
like
weird.
Green Day, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I like older Green Day.
I just wouldn't put them in the top 50.
I went to their concert last summer that they had at Klipsch, and
Yeah.
it was actually a really good show.
Yeah, I heard they're
but,
great live.
but they should not be in the top 50.
No.
Like at all.
Number 43, Foo Fighters.
God damn it.
Now
Stop
he's-
giving Dave Grohl money,
Now
people.
he's triggered.
He's got enough.
He's just gotta keep going.
And he just keeps saving it because he does everything grassroots. So he's not spending it.
He's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do like the next 9 albums all myself.
On 8-track.
Yeah. Number 42,
You can
John
buy it on
Lennon.
the street corner.
41, Ramones. 40, Dire Straits. 39, Chuck Berry. 38, Journey. 37, The Kinks. 36, Pearl Jam. 35, Radiohead. 34, ZZ Top. 33, Bruce Springsteen. 32, The Clash. 31, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Wasn't he 31 on the last
I
list?
don't know.
Or was that? Oh,
He was way later on the last
way
one.
later.
He was like 61 or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Number 30, Deep Purple. Number 29, Cream.
That's fair.
Cram.
Crab.
Steve Newhart says, "Does anybody know who Genesis is?" Of course,
Of course,
Yeah.
Phil
Steve.
Collins.
Yeah, it's Phil Collins.
He wasn't
That's
on
my
any of
brother.
these lists.
Nice.
Not Phil Collins, Steve
Oh,
Newhart.
I was about to. Oh,
I got really excited for a second.
I'm super disappointed now.
No shit.
What? 28, The Police. 27, Fleetwood Mac. 26, Skinner. I'm not even going to say Leonard. I'm just going to Skinner.
That's fine. That's heritage as fuck right there.
Y'all like Skinner?
Yeah.
If somebody don't know what you're saying, when you say Skinner, they can fuck off.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
don't like Skinner, you can fuck out. Bring me back some Mountain Dew, though. 25, Elvis Presley. 24, Rush. 23, Red Hot Chili Peppers. 22, Eric Clapton. 21, Bob Dylan. 20, Van Halen. 19, The Beach Boys. 18, David Bowie. Number 17, fucking U2.
Bowie
Fuck
was
off, you two.
Bowie was
Goddamn
way
Bono.
way higher on the list the last time, right?
Yeah.
He was like in the high 50s.
Well, I'm going to vote up David Bowie and then vote down U2.
Thank you.
That's just
You're a
ridiculous.
good man.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Number 16, Black Sabbath. Number 15, Guns N' Roses. Number 14, Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR. Number 13, Aerosmith. Number 12, Metallica.
Hell yeah.
It's about time.
Number 11, Eagles.
Watch Megadeth be in the top 10.
Number 10, Nirvana.
What the fuck?
Right? Number 9, The Doors.
Okay.
Number 8, Jimi Hendrix. Oh, this will really piss you off. Number 7, AC/DC. He's like, I'm out. I'm done. Number 6, The Who.
Prison on Planet Bullshit.
Number 5, Queen. That's better.
Much.
Number 4 is Pink Floyd. I think Queen should be higher.
Insta triggered again.
Yeah. God damn. Number 3, the Rolling
I'm
Stones.
gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
I don't think I'm not a huge Rolling Stones fan.
I'm not
I
either.
just can't.
Painted Black is
They're
the Stones'
good.
greatest song.
I don't know. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't listen to them.
And the final 2, number 2 is Zeppelin.
Okay.
And you can probably guess what number 1 is.
Always gonna be the Beatles.
Yeah, always. Every list.
You start the list at 1 Beatles, and then you make the rest of the list.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for the list, Zach.
That was definitely a lot better of a list.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that
there's a
was
lot
certainly.
of questionable stuff on there, but I mean, you'll have that, I guess.
Yeah.
How does Neil Young just keep getting so high up? On the
He just keeps climbing.
He had 2 songs that I know of.
How do you two keep getting?
Yeah, no
that's
shit.
absolutely absurd.
Nate Phillips. Prince is one of the most underrated guitarists of all time. His library of unreleased songs will outlive all of us because he wrote and recorded full songs almost every day.
Fantastic musician.
Yeah.
Terrible music. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And terrible doctors.
Yeah.
Aw.
Ooh.
I mean, he's the Prince for a reason because
Yeah.
MJ was the king of pop. So
Ooh, true.
A fucking man.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. What they have Michael Jackson on that? Like, not high enough. I know that.
No.
No, Michael Jackson should always be top 10.
for sure,
Always.
I'd say even maybe top 5.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Steve's-
He's arguably the most successful musician of all time. So how can you not?
Right under the Beatles.
Damn. Damn.
I would probably like the Beatles more if it wasn't just how much I can't stand Paul McCartney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like the way he carries himself.
He's kind of a douche, but it's all
He's
right.
incredible. He's an incredibly
I'd say-
fucking gigantic douche.
Okay, I'm not like the hugest fan of I like their music, but I'm not gonna sit here and say like every single song they made and all that. I just like what they did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to give him
Like-
respect, but personally, I like John Lennon's solo stuff more than I
Yeah.
like anything that the Beatles ever did. I mean, that's obviously my personal opinion, and that doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
No. I just think it's so cool how they just I don't know, just like I
Yeah.
like seeing the old shit that they did and
What do you-
everything they.
What do you think of
Started.
people comparing Greta Van Fleet to Led Zeppelin?
I don't mind that because I mean it's definitely the influence is certainly there.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious.
It's cool. It's really cool that there's music out there like that right now.
Yeah, because I always said we would never hear anything exactly like Led Zeppelin
And then
ever
here we
again.
are. Here we fucking are with
Yeah,
Greta Van Fleet.
yeah.
Well, it's
then
like-
Greta Van Fleet like explodes.
It's like listening to one of those Led Zeppelin experience, like tribute shows.
Yeah,
But that much better. That much more
right.
what Led Zeppelin was. So, I mean, I'm interested to see what they do. You know, they obviously haven't been around for very long. I mean, so I look forward to following them and see where they eventually pan
Yeah,
out. I
yeah.
mean, they could be one of those bands that does like one album and then they just, they get shit on so much. They're like, okay, well, we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah. Also, I can't tell if they're like 12 or if they're like not 20.
I think it's both.
Both.
They're Benjamin Button style. But I mean, I totally agree with
Oh
Blaine.
shit! What if it was Zeppelin just really young?
Oh my god. I mean, I totally agree with Blaine
Travel
though.
through time.
I really appreciate being able to hear that sound again, but
Yeah,
with
yeah.
new stuff because it's so close.
Yeah.
So
There was a. I know I'm gonna get bashed for this, but I watched the last season. I watched American Idol.
Mhm.
You know, because
I'm a voice guy myself.
yeah, I like watching that stuff. You know, like as a musician and someone who really loves music. But there was a guy on there named Cade Forer, and he made it into the top 10, but he was all about rock and roll and blues and everything. And he would come up stage and play his guitar, but like he would solo and shred and everything. But the dude looked like a young Robert Plant.
Really?
Yeah, and the dude's voice is amazing. And he didn't win, but I mean that name just stuck with me. Like that dude's performances were awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is he one of those people that's gonna? You think eventually he'll have like a good career to come from that?
I think so.
Because not everybody that wins America, or not everybody that doesn't win American Idol.
Look at Chris Daughtry.
Thank you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Bring up Daughtry for
he
sure.
made the same album 5 times, and
Right.
everybody loved it. Everybody ate it up. First 2 were good, and then I was like, okay, I'm
on
fed up
you.
with your shit right now,
Yeah.
Chris
but,
Daughtry.
but I'm gonna buy your album as you're standing in line at Walmart
I'm
buying
on
the fucking
you, you
CD.
son of a
You're in there,
bitch.
fucking Chris Daughtry.
I'll have to buy it to see if it's just like the other
I'll
one.
get you next time.
I only bought the first 2.
Cash or credit?
If you don't buy
please.
it, how do you know if it's like the other ones?
Right?
You gotta buy it.
Spotify and YouTube.
You gotta
Yeah,
buy
thank
it.
God for Spotify.
Yeah, you wouldn't have Spotify if it wasn't for me.
I had Spotify when I discovered that Chris Daughtry released the same album for the 3rd time, and I was like, "Yep, I'm done."
Remember the old school way when before
LimeWire?
Spotify? Yeah,
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Fucking LimeWire.
Well, before any of that, like before, I didn't even get into that. I was like,
Napster.
yeah, Napster. And then,
Damn
you-
Lars Ulrich.
yeah, you would go buy the album and you
Bastard.
buy it, and you're like, this fucking sucks. You're like, I
Uh-huh.
just wasted money. And then,
Yeah.
but the great thing now is like, I'm gonna preview. Mm,
I remember
nah.
downloading songs on LimeWire on dial-up.
Hell yeah.
Like 2 days later, I'd have an album.
Dude, kids
then
these
it'd be
days will
fucked
never
up, like-
understand.
Nope.
I'd wait for it to download the file, and then it wouldn't be the right file, or it'd be fucked up or something. So I gotta wait another 2 days to download another
Kids
one.
will never understand that you had to literally give your computer AIDS just to get the newest song from.
Yeah,
And then half of the shit that you downloaded ended
That's
up
not
being
Linkin
porn.
Park. God damn it.
I'm trying to download
Holy
Numb.
shit.
It ends
So-
up being porn every time.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Story time.
LimeWire to FrostWire.
Minutes to Midnight drops in 2006, 2007. We drive from Delphi to Meyer and Lafayette, pick the album up, drive back. We pop the album in. We're listening to it. I liked it, so I was like, all right, LimeWiring the shit out of this. So I get home. I couldn't remember the song names. I didn't know the song names because we were just listening to the album. I wasn't.
Right.
And then
Remember when you had to look at the CD cover to figure out and like what track you're on? Oh, that's
Yeah.
the song.
oh, number 3.
yeah, so I go in there and I'm just looking at like Linkin Park songs that I just didn't recognize the name. I ended up downloading like 3 or 4 Edema songs,
Oh shit!
and
I forgot
they
about
were
Edema.
labeled as Linkin Park,
Oh,
and I'm like,
You done
and,
fucked up.
I'm
Yeah.
listening to this. I'm like,
one of the OG trolls,
this
Dildo Baggins.
this sounds like Linkin Park, but something's off.
What is wrong with her?
Yeah, damn skank hunt 42.
Oh, shit.
And that's how I found Spine Shank, was because it was labeled a Disturbed song.
Oh shit!
New disease.
I never. Who was the assholes mislabeling these songs?
Right.
They're probably like, fuck, what was the song I was listening to? That's got to be it. Upload.
I found this band from somewhere in South America called the Brutal Six, and it was through this. It was through a metal cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" that they did. It was badass too. It's like a new metal cover, and the description was like Slipknot, Mudvayne, Disturbed, Static X. Smells like Teen Spirit.
Shit,
I'm
forgot
like-
about Static X.
Oh yeah. We jammed some
Spiked hair,
Wisconsin.
like-
Oh yeah. we jammed some. I was about to say Wisconsin Death Trip, but it was Start a War, so a little later in there. That's my favorite album, Start a War. Static X was one of the bands that started my metal journey.
Do you guys like System of a Down?
Yes.
What do you
Very
think
much
about
so.
the whole like I don't know, the rumors about the new album, and then they come out and they're like, oh, we're not making an album, and then
And
like
then Darren's like, yeah, it's Serge's fault, and Serge's like, yeah, it's my fault, but here's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
then-
thought Serge's response to that was very well written, very well put, and it didn't. It straight up like fuck Darren, but at the same time I was like, I don't want to say fuck Darren.
yeah, and then after that, now they're like, well, there might be a possibility we will do an album now. It's like,
now that these feelings are expressed,
yeah, it's like just fucking make up your
Guys.
mind.
Well, so
just do your thing.
Yeah,
So before Chris Cornell passed away, they announced Temple of the Dog announced that reunion tour. It was like a 3 or 4 show thing just in California and the West Coast.
damn West Coast always the good
God,
shit.
well, see, I used to live in California, so
Yeah.
I have family out there. All I had to buy was a plane ticket and a concert ticket, and I could go see am I,
So many fees.
fucking pipe? Oh, right, for sure. But it was like a pipe dream or bucket list thing, and I was like, man, I don't really want to spend like $400 on a fucking concert ticket.
Right.
I've tried to see Tool 3 times, and every time I've said, you know what, I'm not going to spend $400 on this concert ticket.
Nosebleed tickets, $128.
Right, that are sold out the minute the concert or the tickets go live. Because of fucking dickhead ticket brokers.
Yeah.
Buying
It's live
all of
and
them.
sold out in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What the shit?
Yeah. But so I debated on going, but I was really pissed off that it was only like that 3 or 4 show tour. Like, why not? As much as I hate the Midwest and I understand why people don't want to come here, why would you not? I mean, there's so many good venues in the Midwest and so many fans centered in this, giant pit of misery. Why would you not tour here?
Unfortunately, it's the radius clauses between Chicago and Detroit and what's south of us? Nashville and Louisville.
Probably St. Louis too far.
St.
away,
Louis,
probably.
possibly. So we just kind of get screwed.
Yeah.
Like Cincinnati, Columbus. They'll play in Cincinnati and Columbus, but I'm like, what the fuck's the radius clause over there? Or like in Cleveland and then Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I'm like, those aren't even that far apart.
No.
Right.
But you can't play in Indianapolis because of radius clauses. I think a lot of it is radius clauses, and I notice sometimes bands will come through on like smaller tours. I think they kind of do that just to feel it out. And then if they don't get a good, response,
Turnout.
they wait a few years to even come back to Indiana.
Yeah.
But the reason I brought that up is because since System of a Down has done the same thing, and every time it's been like, we're going to play 4 or 5 shows.
Yeah.
We're basically going to go from SoCal to NoCal, and we might, go up into the Pacific Northwest a little bit, but that's all that we're doing. And it's like, God damn, I really want to go fucking see you guys.
Right.
But you won't leave the state of California.
Yeah. Quit being homebodies.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Get your ass out there.
You want to make
Didn't they
some
do
money.
didn't they do a European tour a couple years ago? Fuckers.
South American.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna fucking fly to South
No,
America and
but-
see
Hell no.
System of a Down.
Well, I thought they toured like all over Europe, but they won't.
Let's
tour.
go to Brazil and get stabbed.
Yeah, right.
It's shitty.
They'll be like, hey, we're in Sao Paulo tonight. Come out. Yeah, let me just get on that fucking plane.
We're getting amped up in Mexico City tonight.
Yeah.
Woo!
Think how much you could do in Venezuela with your $2.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a lot of that Peruvian beer.
You could buy like half the fucking country.
A friend of mine, her dad came back from somewhere in South America. Was it South America? Puerto Rico? I don't know. Somewhere down there. And he brought back like a bunch of beer from down there. But they were like really skinny cans. And it was like, all in Spanish and everything. But like you taste it and it's like fruity, but beer at the same time.
Right.
So I called it.
We call this fruit and beer,
Yeah.
and we got this, and it's good.
It's called Freer.
Drink some of that Freer, folks.
So I was like,
Heritage.
yeah, heritage. So I called it Peruvian Poontang beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
About after 9 of them, you're like, these aren't bad.
There's a Costa Rican beer called Imperial that's really good. It's like a yellow label, and it's got like a black dragon.
Oh,
Like
that's
a-
badass.
It's like think like old coat of arms style dragon drawn up on it. It's pretty good. If you ever see it in the store anywhere, buy it and taste it. You'll dig it.
They had me at the Dragon.
Right. I mean, fuck, I don't care if this tastes good. Look at this fucking label.
Right?
I'm not gonna lie, I bought beer because the label was cool.
Right.
So.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah. That's how I first tasted Alpha King.
right.
I was like, that looks cool.
Nice.
I want to drink that.
Good old Alpha King.
Yeah.
And we're back to beer.
yeah.
Like we started the show with
Full
beer, and now
circle.
we're back to beer.
I think it's about time we start talking about time travel, boys.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Get into your theories and how it works. And
Well, we've been live for over 2 hours.
yeah, so
damn.
Or 2 minutes.
Ooh.
Ooh. Time is relevant.
Yeah.
So I read a theory not long ago that if we were to build a time machine, and number one, I'm not a mathematician. I'm actually a math idiot. But number two, I'm also not a scientist. But the theory that I read was that if we were to build a time machine now, with whatever technology would allow us to time travel, we would not be able to go further or backwards in time farther than the point of creating that time machine. So it would basically just be a loop of you traveling to the same point over and over again. You couldn't go any farther, or you couldn't go backwards any farther than the invention of the time machine.
Makes sense.
So I thought that was kind of interesting because as I was reading through the theory, I didn't quite understand on why you couldn't. I mean, it was very well written, you know, and I'm a pretty intelligent guy, and it started to get to the point where I just could not follow it anymore, and Google wasn't helping me at that point. So
is it like because the time machine wouldn't exist then?
Yes.
Because you went back before it existed.
That's the gist of it.
Because because that's the starting point.
So basically, what I gathered from it is, if we were to invent a time machine, we would open a portal through time, but that portal only leads to the point that portal was initially opened. So if we were in this room with a time machine right now and we kick that thing on, it opens the portal, boom. We can only travel back to the moment that we open that portal again, because that's the only portal in time that's open.
Yeah, but in 10 years, that'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, shit, come back.
I wish I was young again.
So you can only go back to that same point, too, every time? You can go forward?
No, you can't go forward.
Oh, so the time machine can only go backwards.
It can only take you back to the point that
where it was invented.
Yeah.
So in 10 years you can only go back to that point where it was invented. You can't go anywhere in between.
So in theory, you would have to have someone open up another portal in the future.
Yep.
To be able to travel forward from that point.
Yes.
Back when it was first created.
That's what like I said, it was very well written, but it was very hard to understand because it got very convoluted when they started talking about that.
Yeah.
You know, basically loop that you create, and you can't exit that loop unless you create another loop that somehow coincides with the initial loop that you open. So I thought that was interesting because that's one that I've never heard before. You know, we've talked about time travel and all kinds of wonky shit on Podcastrophe, and it's like, this is pretty cool because it's a unique theory. You know, I've never heard anything like it. So,
what do you think about like traveling through space? How would you think, you know, because like the technology we have now obviously isn't enough to travel light years. You know, it takes.
Well, it is. If you watch, I think it's like episode 990 or 949 of Rogan's podcast, he's got DeGrasse Tyson on there, and he's talking about, you know, if we want to get to Mars, literally all we have to do is propel ourselves at like I think it's a certain G-force, but it's very, very low. Like we can do it on Earth. It's that much easier to do it in space, but we don't have a system to carry enough fuel to consistently to do it long enough to propel yourself that distance.
Right.
At that speed.
That's what I was reading too. It's always like the fuel.
So say I can't remember the exact number because it was like 6 months ago that I watched that episode, but it's like 10 G's. You hit 10 G's, and then obviously you're going to carry that momentum through space, but you have to have enough fuel to correct or, you know, to maybe burn again if you need to slow down or, you know, increase speed. So the amount of fuel that it would take you to get to that speed that you need to get there in a relative amount of time. And the way that he described it, it was like 6 months to a year instead of, you know, 10 to 15 years or whatever it would. Obviously, I'm just pulling that number out of my ass. But
would it take 3 years for the Mars rover to get there?
Yeah.
I think.
So it would take it from 3 years to 6 months to a year. So quite a, you know, an exponential gain in speed that you're going to get there. It's just not feasible. We can't carry that much fuel to do anything after getting us to that speed.
Plus, it's the weight too.
Right.
Yeah, there was also like the slingshot theory of using like
the Earth and the Moon to slingshot you to Mars.
Yeah.
He talked about that a little bit in that episode too, and I can't remember how he said that he debunked it, but Tyson's a very difficult person to listen to sometimes.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know, he's a legitimate scientist. He's a very intelligent guy. But as theories progress and his opinions progress and change a little bit, he contradicts himself a lot.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets hard to follow what he... not that they're the same in my opinion, but what's his name? We just talked about him on the show the other night. Frogs are gay.
Oh, Alex Jones.
Oh.
Thank you, Alex Jones. So
Damn, you don't have the soundboard.
as much as Alex Jones is a performer,
Yeah.
I look at Bill Nye and Tyson both as performers too, because they have the science guy persona that they kind of have to put forward, and they have to. Rogan's podcast is probably my favorite to watch. I don't listen to it. I watch all of his episodes that he's filmed on YouTube, but I get really burnt out on the that he does all the way throughout the episode, because it takes away from what his guests are actually talking about. So I have a hard time following Tyson a lot because it's so performance a lot of times. I mean, obviously you got to respect the guy. He's a legitimate scientist.
Yeah.
And Bill Nye is too.
Plus Bill Nye had like the greatest intro song ever.
Thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. I mean, Bill Nye's kind of a d-bag, but
Yeah, Bill Nye kind of lost me on his Netflix show.
yeah, I haven't
He went
watched it.
political.
I couldn't even
with
make
it,
it through
I think,
I
didn't he?
couldn't even make it through one episode of
I'm pretty
that.
sure he got kind of political with it.
Yeah, that's
He also
Instead
had
of
a
just-
documentary on there, and that was actually really good.
Did he?
yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you earlier when we were talking about Queen. What do you think about the movie coming out?
Oh, I am so excited.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for that. I can't remember the actor that they or the actor's name that they casted as Freddy, but he,
Something.
Remy Malek. Malek.
That sounds right.
Yeah, something
but
like
from
that.
from what I've seen from the trailers and the TV spots, it looks like, I mean, he really put forth the effort and the time to emulate Freddy from what we have. So
Yeah, I want to see it really bad.
yeah, I think it'll be good.
It'll be very nice.
Very nice. How much? $80 in concessions. That's how much.
It's my wife.
Rubber fist.
Yeah, but I think like the whole, like the space travel and time travel, it's stuff like that I lay in bed at night and I get super deep into YouTube, with conspiracy
It's
theories.
easy to do. I mean,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then I'm like, what time is it? Oh, fuck, 3 a.m.?
It's fucking 3:30 in the morning.
God.
I've almost solved time travel.
Yeah.
Right.
How deep did I go?
We must go deeper.
Yeah. But I think about stuff like that all the time, like
So-
possibilities and...
So let me ask you this: do you think that we will master? And I use the term master loosely, but do you think we'll master space travel in our lifetime?
No,
No.
I wish we would, but I don't think we will.
Well, see, one of the biggest arguments that I've seen and I've read is that we basically don't have any incentive right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are so focused on what's going on Spaceship Earth. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
My
that's
opinion.
what I'm saying.
We need to be focused and united on getting off of the shithole that we live on.
Until
that we
everyone-
continue to make more and more of a shithole.
Until everyone's united, it will never happen.
And that's a pipe dream. I don't think.
I don't
Because-
think it'll happen until we
Because
find
it's
some
one
part of
country.
life.
Each country, they're trying to figure it out. They don't want anybody to know.
Right.
Because they want to be like, oh, we were the first ones to figure. Fuck that.
Well,
you
and
know?
Tyson in that episode talks a lot about they're talking about aliens, and it's like, we very well could have been visited by aliens at any point throughout history. Shit, they could be trying to visit us right now.
Yeah.
But there's so much space junk orbiting the Earth.
They're probably like, F that.
Well, it's such a hazard. You look at when anybody tries to launch anything into space right now, there's so many delays. It's not because of weather. It's because they're trying to plot through the map of space shit.
Yeah.
4 years ago, something like that, China actually detonated one of their satellites in the Earth's orbit, which, amplified the amount of space junk. There's actually a map that NASA runs. They track, and it's in real time, all of the space junk in Earth's orbit. They pulled it up on that episode, and it fucking blew my mind how much shit is orbiting the Earth right now.
My God.
I mean, you could not drive you could not get in your Tesla in space and go through it without fucking being obliterated by the shit that's traveling, 30,000 miles an hour around the Earth.
Yeah.
Because there is just that much shit.
Makes you wonder, like, when you see those videos of, not asteroids, but like meteorites coming in. What people are like, oh, we got to go find it, What makes you think it's not all that shit just falling back to Earth?
Absolutely, because eventually that orbit decays over time.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Is that the map?
I'm trying to find like the live.
You know, I can just bring it up in the stream. Let me.
Yeah, that'd be cool to bring it up because when Rogan brought it up on his podcast, I mean, it was nuts looking
Where
at
did
it.
we get it?
Let me bring this over here. So I can actually. Oh, hang on. I gotta.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me edit.
I don't see us getting anything done until we prove there's life somewhere.
Right, right.
Which I hope we do in our
Oh,
lifetime.
I forgot.
I hope
to
they
switch
find
it
something,
over here.
even something small. I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. I mean,
plant life somewhere or
yeah.
something. I think.
So
I found
you
it.
think it just has to be more than bacterial?
I think it. Well, a bacteria would be big, but I think it'd get more people behind it if it was something more
Yeah,
than
hang
that.
on. I gotta add a new.
Bacteria
we
would be
used it.
big.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I don't know if that'll be. I mean, if you find a planet that can support like plant life, like it's got an ecosystem of some sort,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it was display
I think I
or
found
window.
it here.
Go with display.
Stuff in space
That's what I do.
is what it's called. Oh, I thought you were trying to pull that.
Add new source.
I think this is it. Was it like a
There
red
we
and
go.
blue map?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what I got up here.
So, let me bring this. So yeah, what was it on? NASA.com?
Just go to stuffin, STUFFIN .space.
STUFFIN.
.space.
STFU.
IN.
Dot space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Jesus.
That is all of the shit that's orbiting the Earth right now.
Holy shit. It'll show you like their.
Yeah, if you actually you can go. I mean, you can
Oh, you can zoom in.
you can zoom and,
Oh, wow.
and change actually how far or how close you're looking at. You can
Oh,
go
shit.
to every one of those individual little dots and it'll show you the actual orbit
Yeah, it is.
of each individual thing.
That's
Wow.
nuts.
And some of it will tell you exactly what it. I think that's what you're looking at right now. It'll actually tell you what it is and where it's from. So you know every time
Where are we at here?
Whoa.
every
There's
time
North
every time we
America.
launch you know a shuttle into space, the booster rockets detach and fall back into the Earth's
Right.
orbit. They either burn up in the atmosphere or make it to the ocean, but pieces of them
Still floating around.
flake off basically, and
That is
they're just caught in
insane.
space. So Tyson's theory is that
How far can we zoom out?
Holy
Oh shit. Okay, so this, I click on this. Type. It's a payload. Cosmos 2453.
Wow.
So Tyson's theory is that yeah, we very well could have visited at any given time, and then as as the space race went on, and then we start detonating nuclear fucking weapons in our atmosphere and everything else that is going on, we've created this big ball of shit that's totally sheltering us from anything that might want to check us out because
Look
they
at
don't
all
want to
that.
take the risk to get through all that stuff.
Right. They don't know what it is either. Like
Mm-mm.
it could be anything.
Yeah.
They probably think it's weapons or something
Mm-hmm.
orbiting our
You
planet.
got the
Right.
rings of Saturn, and then you got the space shit of Earth.
Or
Jesus
we could be the
fuck.
big cosmic joke. We're just a fucking trash planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus fuck.
Oh, the computer's like, what the fuck you doing?
But yeah, so this is one of the arguments why, because I've had the discussion with people before, like, okay, why are we burying stuff in landfills and letting it end up in our ocean?
Right.
Why don't we just
Blasted into space.
blast it towards the sun? And it's like, okay, I don't know that I would blast stuff towards the sun because you might, as you continue to fucking basically nuke the sun with shit, I mean, you might mess some
I
stuff
don't
up.
think you'd ever hurt the sun.
I mean,
I don't think you could put enough shit into the sun to it'd get to before it even got to it. It'd burn up. I mean,
I know, but if you're hitting the sun with like nuclear material, I mean, obviously there's constant nuclear reactions happening on
think
the
how
sun.
big the sun is, though.
See,
No,
that-
no,
see,
I
this
get
just
it.
says this just says debris.
But I mean, to launch
Halo.
anything into space, we got to get through all that shit.
Yeah.
So trying to launch trash into space, we're just going to make more of that shit right there.
Type TBA.
So this shit just won't fall to Earth, or
Nope.
what? Like it's
Well,
just stuck.
Eventually,
Or slowly will.
eventually, some of its orbit will decay and fall to the Earth. But as of right now, this is real time. This is everything that's trapped in the Earth's orbit.
Damn.
I have an idea for Podcastrophe. So
You not being on the show anymore?
well, there's that. There's always that.
It's always an option.
That's crazy.
Instead of adopt a star, let's adopt a space chunk.
Okay. I
Pay
want.
$5.
Do you think we could crowdfund some sort of like spaceship to where we go up with a big net and just collect space junk?
Well, no. China's tried that. China has actually tried that. They tried it not long after they detonated that satellite.
Assholes.
They spent like $40 billion trying to develop a literal
Damn.
space net to try and capture a lot of that shit.
Yeah, but we're Americans.
And
Let's
it's failed.
crowdfund it and let's do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't care about space in America.
Space in America.
But we have the Space Force coming.
We do
Yeah,
have the
we have
Space
the
Force,
Space
so that
Force
might
coming.
change. Are you guys going to enlist in Space Force?
I want to.
Hell
We're
yeah.
pushing the cutoff age though, for at least for most militaries, like 32, isn't it?
Uh,
I think it's around 32 or 34.
the Army's 37.
37. Okay.
Mhm.
Space Force is probably like
Space
70
Force is-
because what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Space Force are gonna be like.
I hope
"Ugh."
that Space Force. I hope Trump brings all the UFOs out of Area 51 for Space Force.
Yeah, dude.
Like, why else would you start Space Force if you don't have some crazy spaceships you're gonna start blowing up other planets with?
Right.
Like, duh.
Yeah, let's go fucking.
They're probably like, all right, here's all the secret shit. Don't tell anyone. He's probably reading it. He's like, oh, fuck.
Space Force.
Yeah.
Space Force.
He's like, I've played Halo.
He actually starts building a Halo.
He's in his fucking room playing with Legos. Like, yes.
Yes, I'm going to build it like this. I'm going to build a wall in space.
I'm gonna build the greatest wall that space has ever seen. No one will be able to touch my space
I mean, we
wall.
kind of already got it. It looks like.
It'll be
Yeah.
tremendously huge.
That's
It'll be
the-
huge.
That's the U.S. Trump space ball.
He's like, I've seen Spaceballs. Okay.
He starts wearing the helmet
Oh,
of
God.
Darth helmet.
Dark helmet.
Yeah,
I seriously wish they'd make the Spaceballs too.
I don't want them to ruin it because
Well-
if they make another one, they'll ruin it.
You know why Rick Moranis quit acting, right?
Mm-hmm. His wife died,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and he took time off to
Raise his kids.
Yes.
And
And then he shrunk them,
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
he sure did.
and then they rode an ant
He's like,
and
I
ate
gotta-
a giant oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah.
Fought a
And-
scorpion.
And then he blew one up. Not like explosion, but like giant,
Yeah.
giant toddler.
Honey, I shrunk the baby.
Yeah. Then they shrunk themselves. It's like,
Yeah.
man.
It's like, guys,
Shit, we're just shrinking everything.
will you guys just quit messing with this shit?
Yeah. How are you that irresponsible that you shrink yourself?
He wanted to eat a giant oatmeal cream pie. I mean, what other answer do you
It's not-
have?
It's not a bad motive.
Yeah. You can't tell me when you were a kid, you were like, God, that's a good looking little fucking Debbie right there. That is a giant oatmeal cream pie.
Why do they make them so tiny? Why aren't-
I want that. Load this thing up on a truck and let's have it.
Yeah. You get those in the Star Crunch.
Yeah. Star Crunch.
Yeah. No wonder I'm huge.
Hey, I feel you, my man.
Hostess ding dongs.
Yeah. I go over to my grandparents and be like, there's
my
Mountain
jam.
Dew and Snickers in the fridge if you want them. What do you mean if I want them? I always want those.
That was me. Like
yeah.
hey, there's ding dongs and Sunkist.
Yeah. Shit.
Do you ever like inject your ding dong with some kiss?
Which
Just answer the question.
Which ding dong?
yes,
All of them.
yes.
He was trying to enlarge himself, if you know what I mean.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's huge.
Huge. It's
Yeah.
it's the hugest ding dong ever.
It's the hugest ding dong.
My ding dong has a space wall. Oh.
Wow.
I mean, so let me ask you guys this. I mean, do you think we've been visited in the past?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay. B, do you think that we are the result of what has visited in the past? Because that's a theory that I've heard thrown around a lot here lately.
That they've messed around with our DNA and
Well, not necessarily that. That say, to escape, like, to political strife or global collapse or whatever. Say there was a species on Mars, that was fully developed and evolved like we are. Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
it's
you're
crazy that you're bringing that up because we used to do All Around Weird.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like we would talk about conspiracy theories and everything. We were trying to bring like a conspiracy theory each week, one of us to talk about. Mm-hmm. And one week, one of mine was, did we come from Mars?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's actually a theory that I've read a lot here lately that's being thrown around, is that we are basically the product of some species that was advanced enough to escape Mars, when it, took a shit. And then they just kind of ended up here because, you're not going to go any farther than the Earth.
Right.
Because Mercury and Venus are both fucked.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So you end up here. And
they just suck.
And then their civilization died off. And then we basically evolved, like Prometheus style from the bacteria and shit that was left on their body. It interacted and either consumed or, whatever. We just evolved from that.
You always get deep down that rabbit hole of how religions all started from what could be aliens.
Potentially, yeah. Or just a really good business model.
That too. Or like how the Bible depicts like angels.
But every religion has
and
these commonalities of super beings coming from the sky in some sort of vessel. Everyone has it.
Well, you've
been watching Ancient Aliens.
You've got the ancient aliens, the ancient astronaut theory.
Right.
I mean, that's the one that gets thrown around the most.
Some of it makes sense though when you look at how all of these commonalities across the world have these same type of stories when these civilizations were never connected.
Well, and you can go a step further. You can go with the pyramids. Look at the pyramids and how every major technologically advanced civilization has had some form of a pyramid.
Yeah. But there's either we don't know how much these people were traveling back then or there was something else influencing that.
Well, there's a theory right now, too, that Antarctica is actually, because Antarctica is a legitimate continent. It's not just all ice. There's landmass beneath that ice. That there is actually basically a lost civilization beneath that ice. Mm-hmm. And that's where
I've heard that too.
But I've heard that it's like still there and you can like fly down into it.
Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Shut up, Blaine. We don't talk about AVP. But so I mean, it's definitely a rabbit hole, and it's definitely easy, to take any tunnel and go really deep down a theory. Yeah. I just try to stay really open-minded.
Right.
Because I can't remember the guy, but if you look up Göbekli Tepe, it's like an ancient civilization that they unearthed a couple years ago. Once you go down that rabbit hole...
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it, not a lot.
Yeah, definitely read more into that.
There's a lot. I mean, there's just so many things that just can't be coincidence. Like,
right.
It just... The world... There's so many connections between stories around the world that don't make sense of how are they coming up with basically the same story.
Right.
Either somebody changed it or they were communicating back then or something. Like there's more to it than
and there's a theory I've heard in the last 6 months or so that, it's pretty common knowledge that the Norse people were the first people to travel to and explore North America.
Right.
Well, there's a theory
that's been pretty much proven, hasn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it is proven.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a theory circulating right now that the Egyptians actually traveled as far as North America.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know how much truth there is to that because it's just something that I've heard here recently in the last 6 months or so. But, I mean, how crazy would that be that the Egyptians actually traveled across the Atlantic?
And the Mediterranean.
And, the Mediterranean is a sea that's a part of the
I
Atlantic
know.
Did you
Ocean.
listen to
but
that
that's
scientist
like
on Joe Rogan that was talking about the Egyptians and stuff just not too long ago? It was just like in the past month or two, he had a scientist on there that was I can't remember who he was.
Does he talk about how the Sphinx is actually a lot older?
Yes, that guy.
That's the guy that's a part of the Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Göbekli Tepe.
Like he was talking about how they don't even know.
It's
nobody knows where the Sphinx came from.
It's Graham. It's Graham something. I can't remember his last name, but he wrote a book called something of the gods, and then he wrote a sequel to that.
That's not who he had on the show.
Fingerprints of the Gods.
No, they were.
Thank you.
They had some
Graham
other-
was it Hancock?
I think they talked about him. I
Graham-
think it was
But he's got a partner
right.
that's actually a geologist.
Who was? That's who he had on, right? The geologist.
Well, he's had them both on. He's had them both on by themselves,
Oh.
and then he's had them on together.
I'm trying to think of who it was that he just had on.
It might be Graham Hancock.
I used to have that book, and I let someone borrow it, and I never got it back.
It's fucking reading that book is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because it really makes you think. Like their theory, Graham and then his kind of sidekick guy that's the geologist. I can't
Who
remember
was
his
this
name
guy?
either. But they've proven, without a shadow of a doubt, that a major flood was actually the last extinction event on North America and basically just reset North America. That's why North America is the way that it is. And, the geology and paleontology communities have pretty much just shunned them and said, well, we have more money than you, so your theory's not going to make it.
Robert Schock. I
Thank
think
you.
is who it was.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that author is Graham Hancock.
Yep.
Yeah. Robert Schock was the other guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's who he had
He
on.
also wrote another book called Magicians of the Gods.
Yeah. Which one was the first one?
The Fingerprints of the Gods or
'Cause
something was the first
I
one.
think that's
wasn't
the first one.
Yeah.
And then the Magicians of the Gods came out not long ago, a couple years ago.
I didn't know about Magicians of the Gods.
Yeah. What I would highly recommend is watch both of their solo stuff with Rogan, because they both get really deep into their individual thoughts. And then when they get brought back together, which was not long after Göbekli Tepe was discovered, and then they started researching that, is when they solidify all the stuff about the Great Flood. The Great Flood is a big religious thing that's talked about all across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they pretty much prove all of that, and then nobody will give them the time of
What
the day.
blew my mind was he was talking about how the Great Pyramid, I think, how the Egyptians who made the pyramids after that thing was so old they don't even know who made it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have this misunderstood, or this
Like they were emulating
misconstrued
it.
opinion of the Egyptians were this long-running empire. From pharaoh to pharaoh was a long period of time, and it's like the dynasties of China. There were long periods of time between every dynasty, every group of pharaohs, and
And the
Egypt changed, and nobody had any fucking idea what
Right.
was going on.
And the crazy thing about Egyptians is they fully believed in reincarnation, and that when, because the pharaoh, like in the sarcophagus, they had like the way they would place them in there, so their spirit could get out, and then they believed that every pharaoh was a reincarnation of a previous pharaoh.
Correct.
So it's crazy that they believed in that. And there's other, civilizations that believed in that too. Like Native Americans believed in that as well. And they used to put in the burial, they were called kill bowls. And basically they put a bowl over the face with a hole in it. So that way when the spirit went to leave, it would go through that hole. And then the kill bowl would become something sacred. And the spirit would kind of be attached to that as well. And I was watching this documentary on it, people who have like actually bought these sacred kill bowls and kept them in their house. Their house has become haunted, like violently haunted, because it's,
You don't fuck with
disturbed.
Indian burial
Hell
grounds. We
no.
learned that shit from Scooby-Doo, man.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck with them.
Ghost!
Zoink, Scoob!
Zoinks!
I still can't get my head around if I believe in ghosts or not.
I think it's as plausible as anything.
Yeah.
Read A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Heaven by Corey Taylor. It was his second book, and he decided to write all about his experiences with the paranormal despite being an atheist.
Really?
He put a lot of his own science into it and like his own theories, having not been a scientist.
There's also a
having
theory.
not been a science.
There's also a theory that they're not ghosts; they're actually beings from other dimensions.
Well, we a couple episodes ago we talked about multiverse and simulation theory and how they kind of go hand in hand and tie together eventually. You can't talk about simulation theory without not eventually talking about multiverse theory. So again, I think that's as plausible as anything. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, you can take simulation theory a couple different ways, that I'm the only real thing in this room right now, and that everything else in this room and everything else in my life is a simulation. But there's also the mirror image of that. You three could all be real, and I could be a simulation. I could be a completely imaginary thing.
I don't believe in the simulation.
It's like that Rick and Morty episode. You fucking simulation, you little
Right.
bastard.
I don't necessarily believe in it, but again, you know, I haven't seen anything that just outright proves or disproves it. So I think it's it's as possible as anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I just.
I mean, there's
you put it that way.
there's parts of it that, I mean, we can pretty much prove are not true. Like on that episode of Tyson, they compare the inside, an image of the inside of the brain when the neurons and synapses are firing versus a picture of our solar system. And you see it on Facebook, and it's a clickbaity thing. You know, look at how similar this is. You know, maybe we are just, you know, cancer on a cell, or maybe we are actually fungus, or, you know, we are actually in the brain of another creature. Our solar system is a neuron, you know, inside of a brain of a larger thing. And it's like, you can look at them from a distance and they look very similar, and then when you zoom way in and look at everything, it's not even remotely similar. So, you know, that's
Right.
really easy to debunk. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, you can take multiverse theory really far too. Like, like say you cap it at 10. There's only 10 variations of everything. You know, 10 universes. Well, in universe 10, this shirt might actually be white instead of green, and you might actually be wearing the white shirt instead of, this shirt is green right now, but in universe 10 it's white, and you might actually be wearing it, and I might be wearing that Coheed shirt that's blue instead of black.
Right.
I mean, it gets really simple and redundant, but
Right.
there's an infinite.
Supposedly, there's an infinite amount of universes with an infinite amount of possibilities.
Yeah.
Which is, where the fuck are they? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Do they mean here on Earth, or like there's other Earths in the universe?
I think that's really the only way that you can justify it.
Because you hear those things where they're like, there's different dimensions, and then that's like your universes. It's all like here, but it's not here, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Kind of like time travel type shit, but
right.
I don't know.
You're doing that thing where you don't talk a lot.
You guys are doing that thing where you're having interesting conversation, and I just
Are you hard right now?
Fuck yeah.
Thanks.
The table looks a little tilted over there. I was wondering.
Well, I thought it was getting warm over here just because of the room.
No,
but it's
it's
actually
just-
him.
it's
The
just-
heat of his loins is radiating.
no. What I love this stuff, so like I just listen to it, and you know, because I just love learning about it. I love hearing about it.
This is the stupid shit I like talking about.
Yeah.
Usually I'm pretty drunk when I'm doing it. But
I'm honestly surprised somebody hasn't like popped in with a comment, be like, "Where's the music?" Because that's happened before. We'll like get off topic and
fuck
somebody
the music. Let's talk about space.
Yeah,
Well, this is a special episode.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a crossover. So
I was totally prepared to just come in here and talk about music all night. I didn't want to hijack your guys' show, which, you know, I've been on a lot of different podcasts, and I have a tendency to just hijack the conversation because I like to talk a lot.
right.
It's not because I think my conversation, or, you know, my string of conversation is any more important than anybody else's. I just really fucking like to talk. You know, that's why I do
Yeah.
podcasts. But I'm really glad that you guys brought this stuff up because, you know, other than him, I really don't have anybody else to talk about it regularly.
Yeah.
You know, so we always try and bring. I try not to flood the show with it because I get really long-winded.
See,
and
I like the sci-fi and
Yeah.
the space. Like some of my favorite things to watch are like space documentaries. And,
Yes.
Or
especially
or like
well-done ones.
Yeah, or like sci-fi movies. Like one of my favorite movies is Prometheus,
Oh hell yeah!
and I've watched it like over and over and over. Plus, it's in 3D, so that makes it pretty cool.
Did you like Covenant?
Yeah, I did. I like how they continued the story. The cast, the selection on the cast was a little weird. Like Danny McBride
Yeah.
and
But I thought Danny
James-
McBride actually did
yeah,
a
he
good
did
job in the
great.
film.
and James Franco was in it for like 5 minutes.
But if you watch like the prelude to it, it was like a 10-minute thing.
Yeah,
And then you don't even, he's not even in the movie. He's in a picture, or he's
Yeah.
in a picture and a video.
I feel like it was
And-
one of those things where like he signed up for the movie and was like this isn't gonna work with my
Right.
schedule.
So I have this thing where I have it out for certain actors.
Mhm.
Like Bryan Cranston is my biggest one. I think Bryan Cranston is a terrible actor. He's extremely
Really?
overrated. He has literally done one thing in his career that might be noteworthy, and I couldn't make it through the first season of Breaking Bad. So, Bryan Cranston's.
This is another one of those.
I mean, it
You got
triggers.
you got some
Triggered.
words over there.
It triggers everybody when I bring it up, but that first season of Breaking Bad is bad. It's just not good. You can't argue that it's good because it's not.
First season of Game of Thrones was awful.
Yes, it was. I mean,
You just got to get through it.
But the
Yeah.
other 5 seasons were great.
Yeah, but I couldn't make it through the first one. So what incentive do I have to watch the other 5 seasons?
I'm
I
with
don't.
you. I'm with you though. I did struggle with the first season, but once I got through it, I was like,
There's these
I'm
little
sure
things
you've
that happen
heard
at
that.
the very
Yeah.
end that you're just like, oh shit.
you're like, I'm interested.
Just like in Game
But
of Thrones.
so Bryan Cranston is, at the top of that list for me because everybody's got a hard on for Bryan Cranston, and he's done one thing in his career to justify that. Other than that, it's Malcolm in the Middle and other shit B movies. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just not a Bryan Cranston guy. James Franco's another one. The guy is not a good actor.
I don't mind him.
He's a
I like
mediocre
it.
comedian, but he is not a good
I
actor.
like him in the comedy movies, and that's
God, he plays the same character in every
Yeah.
film.
yeah.
Chris Farley could do it, but he did it great.
yeah.
James Franco doesn't do anything great.
I don't mind seeing James Franco in a comedy. Like, I think he's funny.
Now,
usually.
don't get me wrong. I'm not
Right.
saying I won't watch it.
Right.
But I'm just not like, yeah, James Franco.
No.
So I just had to throw it out there.
Zach
I had to trigger somebody.
Zach said, "Remember, deja vu is just a glitch in the Matrix."
Hell yeah.
Speaking of the Matrix,
Oh, jeez.
did you ever? Because I ended up like after they all came out, I bought like the collection thing, and it came with the Animatrix.
Yeah.
I thought some of the Animatrix stuff was better than the
My
Matrix
favorite
2
part
and
was
3.
Yo, especially the second and the third one.
Yeah.
the little animated feature that actually explained like how the robots and
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
came to. I love that.
That
was my
awesome.
favorite part.
I've
So,
never seen it.
so that's a good segue. What do you guys think about AI?
AI,
Yeah.
like
Like if it's going to take over, or I don't think it's going to take over.
I think it kind of has in a way a little already.
Mm-hmm.
We're so dependent on technology now, but that's just
Technology's pretty dependent on us, though.
true. It goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just us as a species evolving. We're going to keep building better and bigger things and things that are more convenient.
I got a 12 gauge at home
And-
that says a robot's not going to fucking come into my house.
Right.
So at what point do you think I can get a bionic arm? Because that's really the route that I'm going with this.
I mean, I think first
Because I
you
really
get-
want a bionic arm.
I think first you got to go wiener.
Yeah,
I mean,
bionic wiener
Well, I'd like to
is-
keep my flesh wiener at
But
first.
if you do lose it,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get a bionic dick, no problem.
I'll get a bionic dick. Franco was great in 11/22/63.
that
don't
was a
even
good move.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
Is that on Hulu?
Hulu
Is it
original.
Hulu or Netflix? I think it's
I think it was
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
remember
a
seeing things
mini-series.
about it.
Never
Isn't
even
he-
heard of it.
Isn't he supposed to
good.
like go back in time?
It's
and
a book by
isn't it about like time travel and shit?
Stephen King book,
Okay.
and they made it into a mini series. It's about time travel to save John F. Kennedy.
Mm.
He goes through this time thing, and every time he goes through it, it goes back to that date.
Mm-hmm.
At
So
a
someone
certain
made
time.
a time machine
Oh,
that
okay.
day.
And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because it's like in his closet of his restaurant or something that he owns, and
It's a tiny time machine.
so every time he goes through it, he appears back there. And I think if he dies or something else, something has to happen, he'll reset and go back to his time and have to go back into it. It's weird. And at the end, he does it's just, you'd have to, I don't
Yeah, I mean, it sounds
spoiler,
intriguing.
spoiler alert, he saves Kennedy, fucks the world up. He comes back.
Naturally.
And-
Kennedy fucks the world up?
He comes back after saving Kennedy, and it's like the apocalypse in America. Like everybody's in poverty, and it's like everybody's living in the streets and shit. And he gets back. So,
Well,
Yeah, I'll definitely check that. That sounds really cool.
Speaking of robots, we
It's
were
really
talking about
good.
like AI and stuff. Have you seen Westworld?
Yes.
I keep hearing about it, and
I'm
need
not
to
done
watch
with
it.
season 2, but
I haven't. I've watched the episode 1 of season 2. Season 1 was amazing.
yes.
So part of the reason I haven't given Breaking Bad more of a chance than I did I'm not caught up on Game of Thrones. I am not caught up on any TV series because I just don't have time to watch
Right.
TV. You know, if I have to choose between watching TV and playing video games, I'm going to play video games every time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
It's more fun. It's more
more
interactive.
engaging. It's more
Yeah.
engaging. So, yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about Westworld. I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to watch Black Mirror.
Yes.
Oh,
that
Black
show's
Mirror
because of
is
how crazy
awesome.
that is.
Dude,
you know
that
what?
show's awesome.
And I've watched
It's a new age Twilight Zone.
I've watched a little bit of it, and I'm really intrigued on the idea.
It makes you think. It's got a lot of shit that'll make you think.
Yeah, there's
Like,
some of that shit you're like, fuck, that could happen.
Right. So, I mean, I think if I'm gonna dive into one, especially that's quick, you know, I'll do Black Mirror first.
Yeah, Black Mirror, it hooks you.
And
There's
then
some shit on Black Mirror that people are kind of already doing. That they get into on Black Mirror, and you're kind of like, fuck.
There was an episode where all the bees in the world die, so they make artificial bees. And then somebody hacks into the network that controls these bees and starts killing people
with the bees.
with the bees. And I'm like, fuck, that could happen. You know?
That's pretty rad,
Speaking of
actually.
Yeah.
bees, you know, random thought. I read an article a couple months ago that was really, it was really just fucking weird. But people are accepting this in the scientific community that bees are not native to North America. That if bees go extinct today, that nothing bad is going to happen. We don't need the bees. Because the bees, and the way this article was written, the bees only
Who was it written
pollinate.
by Monsanto?
I can't remember. It wasn't Monsanto. It was some professor at a college out west.
Monsanto University.
Yeah.
Sure is what it sounds like.
But
to me.
it basically said that, yeah, fuck the bees. We don't need them because the bees only pollinate a fraction of the plants in
and
the
what
world.
pollinates them?
There's
Just
a lot.
wind and-
The way this article was written, it said that there's a group of other insects that do more pollination than bees do. It was just really weird. And as I was reading through it, I was like, there's enough scientific evidence that proves that we literally need bees to continue to exist.
I mean, I've never read the science, but that's what I've been told.
There's plenty there to
Right.
read whenever you want. So, I mean, how could you in good conscience write this and then
Right.
basically trick people into believing that it's true?
I mean, what other insects that like you can think off the top of your head pollinate?
So in Indiana specifically, what we call sweat bees
Oh
is
yeah,
actually a hoverfly.
yeah.
They pollinate as much as a honeybee does in one day. You know, and they're doing it by themselves. They're not taking the nectar from the plant anywhere else. They're just consuming it right there and then going to the next plant and the next plant.
No
and
wonder
the
they're
next
all
plant.
fucking all over the place, you know?
Right? Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah, it's actually a fly. It's basically a
Yeah.
yellow and black housefly.
yeah.
You know,
I knew that, but I couldn't remember what they were
it drives
called.
me nuts when people call them sweat bees.
Yeah.
It's a fucking hoverfly.
It's a hover round.
Just let it go. It's the hover round. You know,
They have tiny little life alerts around their neck.
yeah. Help! I've got a broken wing and I can't get off this flower.
I don't know. Bees are cool. Like my
Yeah.
dad does beekeeping.
Oh,
and
really?
I helped him out this summer because he had surgery and couldn't do a lot of it. So
I
I was
like
out doing
honey.
it, and it's interesting. Yeah, it's not that hard, but it's different. Like
I can't do it because I'll die. But you know.
I didn't get stung.
I'm sure it's nerve wracking.
I didn't get stung. I mean,
No?
I got attacked like a motherfucker one time.
I will piss my fucking pants if there's a bee next to me. I am serious.
I was freaking, dude. I was freaking out. Like, so I had the suit on, and
Did you smoke them?
no, not this time.
Like
We
smoke them, like smoke them.
Yeah, this is America. We don't need no bees.
Yeah, we just collect them and then we shoot them.
Yeah,
They're to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
fuck those bees.
What we did is we put traps out so they're all in one area, and then we shoot them with a shotgun. It's
Yeah.
fun pastime.
Just
There you
fucking
go.
take care of them.
So we put the traps out to try to get a queen instead of having to buy one off of another beekeeper. And I opened one up, and it was up like in a tree like this high. So I'm standing on the back of the tailgate of the truck, and I opened it up, and he's like, "Well, see how many in there, because it's just a small hole in the front, and you can see them coming in and out." I'm like, "Oh, there's a lot coming in and out of there." So I popped the lid off of it, and they just get pissed and start coming out. And I mean, they were just pelting me in the face. Like I had the thing on, but you can just hear him smacking into the fucking head. I'm like, they're attacking me. And my dad's like standing way off because he didn't have a suit on.
Right.
And I'm like, they're attacking me because, yeah, they'll do that. I'm like, they're attacking my head. He goes, yeah, they know where your head is. And they just fucking start pelting the fucking thing.
He's back there on the hill. You're doing great.
Keep it up. And he's like, just shake the suit off. They'll go away. Just walk out and shake the suit off. And I'm shaking it, and they will not get off of me.
You keep hearing like
But he ends up having to put on a sweatshirt and stuff and the other mask. And then we have to put all the windows down in the truck and just drive and wait for him to fly out of the truck.
Right.
Like little bastards would not get off of me.
Yeah. You done fucked up. Hey,
Yeah.
wrong.
They got pissed.
My name's Blake.
The suit worked, so.
Balake.
Blockhead.
Damn, boys, we're going on 3 hours.
Yeah, well, this is twice we've done this week.
Oh, shit.
But our episode 50 was on Tuesday, and yeah, we went 3.5.
Damn.
I like to talk a lot.
Yeah.
This is good preparation for us because
Next week we're
Saturday,
gonna be fucking
Saturday
6
we got
hours or
like
something.
5 to 6 hour stream.
Ooh.
So
Mm.
be doing 4 interviews.
But at
and-
about hour 2, I'm gonna be like this.
So you like music?
Last time I was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
I was for episode 50.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, it's time to party.
Yeah.
What was it? Dustin got so drunk he couldn't play his guitar. He was supposed to play live on the show, but he was sitting downstairs waiting for everybody
Yeah.
else to get through.
Uh-huh.
We kind of set it up like downstairs was a green room basically. Everybody just hung out down there until
Okay.
Cooler of beer was a bad choice, I
Yeah.
guess, because they were getting drunk.
there was a bunch of beer down there. Then we had a bunch of beer up here, and Hot Box Pizza sponsored it. So
Oh, that's awesome.
there was pizza for them down there when
Cool.
they were hanging out, and yeah, it was pretty fun.
We need to get sponsors.
Yeah.
I was just going to say we need to get pizza.
Are we doing like? Is there anything like that this year with food?
No food. My contact left.
Jordan better give me some cell phones to eat.
So yeah, this year will be fun. Summit City Live sponsoring, and One Stop Cellular Repair. They're down in Indianapolis, and so we're going to be giving away like cell phone cases and
Cool.
Okay.
tempered glass.
Screen protectors.
Yeah, unless he changed his mind, but so that's what he told me last time, but I'm sure it's still the same. And then I'll just bring up the I got the thing ready.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So there it is. We're also giving away, vinyl records and band merch and
Cool.
stuff like that. We do music videos from Glacier Veins, The Wise Man Sphere, Felicity, and Whalebones. And then we'll be talking with Pickwick Commons. You know them.
I saw them at North End Pub with the Doom Room.
Ooh. And then Givers, they're out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Well,
And then Proper Sleep, they're on Cardigan Records, and they're from North Carolina.
Okay.
And then Silent Rival, they're on Listen Loud Records. And
I've heard of them.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And they're out in Los Angeles. And then Givers is on Glassnote Records, so
Okay.
it'll be pretty fun. Hopefully we can stay on track. Since they're, record labels are involved and everything.
Yeah.
So, and then we're going to Skype in Felicity. They're going to come on, hang out. We've been talking to them.
those guys are cool.
Yeah, we met up with them down in Indy.
Okay.
Went to their show. Cool dudes.
Mhm.
Good tunes.
Man, we need to plan something for our 100th episode.
Yeah.
We got 49 more episodes to go.
Yeah, I know.
Wayne.
We didn't plan anything for our 50th. We
Just-
the most special thing we did for our 50th was we brought back our very first guest.
And talk shit to each other.
Yes.
And talk
It's not a
shit
bad
to each
plan.
other.
It's a pretty good plan.
Man, can you imagine all the times we all talk shit to each other? Those would have been great episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, we brought
That's what we do.
we brought our very first guest back, and then we had a special announcement, and that was that we are moving from the Journey into Comics network feed, which has all the other shows onto you subscribe to Journey into Comics, you get 10 shows. We are moving away from that and getting our own podcasting feed, so you can subscribe directly to us, and we can
Nice.
we can put out more content
Mm-hmm.
on top of the regular show. We are
But
still
we're still going to be a part of the
we're
Journey
still
to
part of
Comics
the
network.
Yeah, and we want to stress that we're still part of that. It's just we're getting our own thing.
It's time for
Yeah.
baby bird to fly the nest.
Yeah.
We got to spread our wings and soar.
Nice.
But, woo! Oh,
We're-
fuck.
Oh God,
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
we're very excited to do that because like especially me because I have like all these ideas of like different like content things that I want to put out, and I want to do like live hangouts and
Yeah.
just hang out with the fans, all 5 of them, and
Mhm.
I'd
you
like
know.
to do more stuff. It's just
Yeah.
so fucking hard to get time to do it.
it
Yeah.
is. It
We're gonna
is.
be doing every other week here for the rest of the summer
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because it's just busy with shit. I got class starting and
Yeah, I got
work and
class starting too in September.
It's
so-
just
Yeah.
getting tough to do it. I mean,
I work 10 hours a day, so
yeah.
that's really all I got going for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you really don't do anything else besides eat.
Yeah.
But
I work,
even then, like,
I work out. That's about
You
it.
pretend to work out.
You
Let's just
pretend to
agree on that.
If we didn't have to set up so much stuff to do it every week,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it'd be awesome just to leave it,
Yeah.
Just actually have a studio space.
Yeah.
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 That's what I want to do. I'm hoping to get a house by next year and just have, like, a dedicated
If we could just like
space.
say on like Tuesday, hey, let's do a show, and we could just walk in and turn it on and do it.
Right.
Yeah, just
And
flip
do
this
something
button
like
back
this where
here.
we just talk to somebody and
Mhm.
shoot the shit. That'd be fun to do. And then
I
we
was-
could- you know what I mean?
I was talking to somebody. I was talking to Brandon Stone, Game Addicts podcast. I was talking to him. I was like, man, how many people do you think we could get together and just like rent out some random space and like how many people do you think we would need
How many
to
would
make
it take? Yeah.
to just like make?
I've
the
always wanted
cost?
to do that.
Yeah.
like-
Have like several different podcasts and like one shared
It would
studio.
literally just be a podcast studio.
I don't know what that would. I don't
Man,
know.
it would
I don't
take
know.
some coin though.
Yeah, it
I mean,
would.
for a
So you
lease
gotta-
like that.
the space, and then the proper service provider for internet and
Yeah.
everything. And
Mhm.
I don't know what a space would cost.
I don't know.
I mean,
$700-800 a month.
Well, I
for
was gonna
something.
say, if you really want to go bottom of the barrel, just a solid number would be $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
yeah,
but split that amongst like 10 people.
Yeah, but you have to have 10 reliable people. It's not just 10 people.
Well,
it's
yeah.
10 reliable
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they got to pay every month.
yeah. Then internet, and then
Yeah.
electricity and
And insurance.
insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
You wanna-
equipment, because
you
everybody,
gotta- you want to protect that shit that's going to be inside.
Right.
everybody's equipment's going to be in there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to do it. Have your own little podcast compound.
Yeah.
Because we have a nice little studio space, but we would love to have about 10 times as much room as
Oh,
we
yeah.
have. And I'm sure you guys are the same way.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with like this size room.
This was fine if we could just keep this.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this room's not too bad if it was just
yeah.
this. Is what
But
we
all
did in
this tears down,
here. Yeah.
and a lot of it fits right in that tote. And then I have a dresser inside. Behind the curtain is 2 closets.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the closets, I have a tall dresser, and then I use the bottom drawer for all of our podcast stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
We know that struggle too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I recently converted a dresser into a gearbox.
the dressers are great, though,
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Because you get all kinds of cables and shit.
Yeah.
and-
When you don't have to carry totes and all kinds
Yeah.
of shit around.
Right.
You don't have to carry bags of shit. You just put it in the dresser and be done
Yeah.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
If I could have a room about this size and just a little bit wider, 'cause it's kind of narrow, and sometimes I want to set the tables this way,
Mm-hmm.
so the display, everybody can see the display
Yeah.
properly instead of like. Usually we do. If it's just us, we'll set I'll set the table up in front of the TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's nice. But yeah, if the room was just a little bit wider and it wasn't my bedroom,
Right.
it would be
Yeah.
perfect.
It's grassroots though.
Yeah, yeah. So keeps you honest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you appreciate it when, like, for example, this episode, no issues.
That's awesome.
Surprising.
That's because I set everything up yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I don't get off work till 4, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna have enough time, so I just set it up yesterday and worked out all the kinks. And most of the time, it's cameras.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I hate these fucking cameras.
Yeah, we've struggled with ours quite a bit the last 6 months or so. Just
What do you use? Do you use a webcam or?
We use is that a Brio? No, that's
No.
okay. So I have that one, but I use that one for Skype interviews,
Mhm.
all one of them. And then I have a Logitech Brio, which is the 4K.
Yeah.
Okay. We have issues with having multiple cameras.
Before, we used to run it on my Mac Mini, and it got to the point where it was starting to get outdated, and it just couldn't do it anymore. But we could run 3 cameras, and it wouldn't, no issue.
mm-hmm.
and then it started to get to the point where it was just too much on it, you know.
It would freeze up and.
Gotcha.
So we switched to PC, you know, PC Master Race, and
binary.
and you plug the cameras in, and it's just like,
I don't recognize this camera.
Yeah,
I don't
only one.
recognize this hardware.
yeah, I can do one.
Yeah, it'll freak out when it has 2 of them on there.
Like yesterday, I plugged in 2 of the 1080s because we've gotten it to work before, but it's a pain in the ass. It's unplug, plug in, unplug, plug in until it's happy. And it got to the point where I plugged that one in, and then I plugged another one in, and then they both froze. So I unplugged them, and then they wouldn't work. So I plugged in the one that's facing us, and it worked. And so I was like, all right, I'll just plug in one of the other ones because they're different models. And then that one froze. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? I'm like, why can't you just process this?
Right.
Right.
You're supposed to be the better. You're supposed to be able to do this, and you can't fucking recognize that they're different cameras.
You are the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I loved you.
Yeah. I'm like, just do it.
Someday we'll have like $10,000 and we'll buy actual cameras in it.
Right. I want to get Kind of Funny set up. They got a pretty sweet gig.
You want a lot of things, Blaine.
I do.
I want your microphones.
This was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That was like what, $250 or so?
Mine was $249. His was $349.
Okay.
Nice.
He originally wanted the one that I have, but this is the one that I wanted to have, and I can't own the same thing that he has. it's this OCD thing that I have. I can't buy something that's I know that somebody else has.
I was using a Shure SM7, and I love that mic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we wanted.
That's now our guest mic, which is great.
Damn.
We got two.
Yeah.
We got 257s that we'll use for guest mics.
Yeah.
These are nice. These blue mics are nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
These were $60,
Not bad.
and they sound decent. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Mine's a Rode Procaster, and his is the Electro Voice E320.
Damn.
nice.
Definitely worth all $250 that I
Yeah,
paid for it.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
And mine has a gigantic shock mount, so that's cool.
Yeah,
That is
I
pretty
went.
cool.
Nothing
I
will
went
shock
with,
that
I
baby.
went with the $11 shock he had that works. Sick.
We have 2 of those shock mounts.
$11, man. I mean, how are you gonna beat $11?
Right.
Yours looks dumb.
It's huge.
Yeah, but if you
Fucking
flip
huge.
it up, then it looks awesome, right? Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Now it just looks like
It's
a
like a
dildo and
space
shock
dick.
mount.
Yeah, dildo mount.
I like how everybody went to dick. That looks like a penis.
Looks like a pecker.
Did you immediately go to Tiffany talking to me?
I did. We have
Oh
this
my God.
coworker, or I have a coworker. He doesn't work there anymore, but
Nope.
she
Thank
just
God.
randomly walks.
She randomly. So her and I were working together, and it's just dead silent. And this girl is like a little bit challenged.
She's not all there.
She's not all there.
Somehow she still works
But so
there.
so we're just working, and I'm not talking to her at all because I don't want to have a conversation with her. I was having a bad day. I was really tired, and it just gets really dumb conversation. Like, yep, I think it's gonna rain today. Yep. Yeah, I really think it's gonna rain today.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
trying to work here. And so, I mean, it'd been dead silent for like an hour, and it was one of the longer periods that we were working, and she just, breaks the silence with, I went to one of their pure romance parties last night.
Oh, shit.
And I said, yeah, those are, those can be fun. And I thought the conversation would die right there. And she
Yeah.
goes, yep, I bought a penis. And so, like, I'm doing my thing, and I just stopped, and I just looked at her, and I said, what? Yep, I bought a penis.
I bought a
I
penis.
bought a big dildo.
How old is this lady?
She's 26.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So she's the same age as me. I bought a big dildo. And I said, oh, yeah? Cool.
What'd you name it? Dildozer.
And I went back to what I was doing, and then she didn't say another word to me the rest of the day.
Jesus.
I mean, it was like another hour and a half that I worked with her that quarter, and then later that afternoon I worked with her again, and she didn't say one fucking word to me.
It's like she was here and then brought the awkwardness like all the way up here and then
she
just
turned that shit up to 11.
and then just left it hanging
Oh,
there.
My very first conversation with her. So I'm working with her, and she'd been
Can
there
I
like
play
maybe
her?
a month.
Can I play her role?
Do you wanna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Blaine.
hold on. She had been here for about a month, and then I kept getting shipped elsewhere, but I had heard stories of her. I was just like, okay, I can't deal with that. I don't want to deal with it. I'm just not gonna talk to her. And we're working together, and she starts trying to make small talk.
Hey, Blaine.
What?
Did you know that there's a Blaine Street in Rensselaer? It's spelled the same way yours is.
I said, that's cool. And she goes, it's spelled exactly the way yours is.
Like it was supposed to make your.
Yeah, I'm like, awesome. And we do another car, and then she's like, yeah, my niece and nephew lives over by there. That's fantastic.
Let me do the next part.
Yeah. I'm like, that's fantastic. Another car goes by, and she drops this bomb on me.
Yeah, I'd probably have more nieces and nephews, but my sister's had 6 abortions.
And I'm just like, what?
What?
She's just picking and choosing them.
For a second,
Every other one.
I thought you said sex abortions.
6. She had 6 of them. They were abortions.
I'd have more, but my sister's had 6 abortions. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. I'm like,
6 of them.
all right.
6.
And I'm like, all right. And then that was it. That was the rest.
And then she just stopped.
A couple weeks ago, she was talking to Brandon Stone, and actually, no, I was talking to him, and she's one of those people that just likes to interject, or anyway, I'm not gonna get into it, but
Hey, Blaine, I bought a penis.
him and I were having a conversation.
Good. Stay away from mine.
For like a good 45 minutes, just solid conversation. We were having a good time. There was a lull for like a good 10, 15 seconds. And she
capitalized.
She capitalized and she struck.
Prime real estate.
She pounced like a...
Yeah, she looks at Brandon and she goes, Christmas is in 5 months.
Okay.
And he just looks at her and he goes, shut up.
Stop breathing for the love of God.
We call her the panda.
Yep.
Because much like the actual panda, Mother Nature and natural selection has done...
And human intervention.
Has done everything in its power to get rid of the panda, make it go extinct, yet it's still here.
Yep. It's still fucking... Literally an animal that is so lazy it won't create, and we cannot make that motherfucker extinct.
It's no longer endangered.
Yeah.
It's threatened now.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah.
They'll just fall out of the tree.
They eat bamboo.
This is this girl.
It does nothing for them, but they eat it anyways.
It's literally an animal that's so lazy it won't fuck.
She had 8 asthma attacks in 1 week. They told her you couldn't come back until you got cleared by a doctor.
You are not fit to work here.
You're not fit to work here until you're cleared by a doctor. She's back the next day. Apparently, she got cleared by a doctor, so apparently there's some fucking malpractice going on.
Yeah.
I want to meet this doctor of yours.
Right?
And call him the fuck out.
You're like, listen, you didn't diagnose shit.
You probably wouldn't shut the fuck up saying stupid shit to him, so he just signed it.
Yeah, I bought a penis.
Oh, God. Get the fuck out of my
About
office.
a penis? Maybe I'm allergic. I don't know.
Oh, she is allergic to tattoo ink, apparently.
Yeah, and oxygen.
Oxygen.
She gets this tattoo with her now husband, and it's like a half of the Team Real Tree.
No, it's
Oh,
not the
God.
Team Real Tree. It's the Browning buck mark.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Either
Even
way.
worse.
You know the one that they do with the heart?
Yeah.
That's a doe and a buck on
Even
each side?
worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
you
terrible.
haven't heard the most recent story with her husband.
Did you ask her if she owns a Browning?
I don't know.
She doesn't own anything.
I don't
She's
talk
dumb.
to her. I don't talk to her.
Do you think she's going to watch this?
No.
I hope she does, though.
Her husband.
She told Blaine and some other people not long ago that she missed me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Why would
I
she miss
immediately
you? She
texted-
bought a penis.
I immediately texted him. I'm like, hey, Tiffany misses you. He's like, dear God. No, she told us that apparently her husband is going to get another piercing.
Oh.
And
Getting his penis pierced?
no, his tattoo artist is trying to convince him to get Jacob's Ladder. I found that out recently.
And his penis?
So apparently he's a volunteer firefighter.
Oh, good.
He's not even a real firefighter. He's just the guy that just happens to show up and throws a bucket
Sets
of
the
water.
fires.
Oh, yep, that's a fire.
Yeah, that guy.
Hey, Cletus, there's a phone.
You look at their profile picture and they look like they're made for each other.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
he apparently lost a bet and had to get his belly button pierced. So, as if that's not bad enough, he kept it. I think he had a good reason for keeping it, despite it being so dumb. I guess the person who bet him ended up dying or something. So he kept it in memory.
Put that fucker on. Take it out. Put it on a fucking keychain.
Right. So that's the
Put a
top
little
of his
glass
belly
bottle.
button. That's the top of his belly button. He's thinking about getting the bottom of his belly button pierced now.
Why?
I don't know.
You've got one. One's enough. It's all right. I do that all the time.
I know. I've been doing
I
it.
did it just a minute
I've been
ago.
doing it the whole show because I'm like, oh, let's listen to Tyler. Oh,
Turn wham.
Go ahead and let me see you knock some teeth out on that thing.
But yeah. So apparently he's getting his belly button pierced. He also bought 3 lawnmowers to start a lawnmower demolition derby.
Which we have named Lawnmower Thunderdome.
Yeah, honestly,
I hope the blades are spinning when they do it.
That's not what I was expecting after he bought 3 lawnmowers. I thought you were going to say he was going to start a lawn service camp.
This is some
Lawnmower Thunderdome.
This is some serious backwoods hillbilly inbred shit.
We're like,
I kind of want to go to the lawnmower Thunderdome.
I do too. I would love it.
were they brand new lawnmowers?
All right, let's
Oh,
see
no.
let's see which of these idiots survives.
Grab a 6 or some diesel and go on over there.
It's like my favorite show is the Robot Wars, where they fight each other with robots.
Robot Wars comes on at 5. Lawnmower Thunderdome comes on at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
That's good. There's space between, so I can run up McDonald's at the
We
dollar
should
menu.
we should live stream commentate the lawnmower Thunderdome.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
On a serious
Hopefully,
note, though,
we can
could,
get it on the Ocho.
on a serious note, though, we could pop in a fucking episode of the Robot Wars, and then the 4 of us commentate it.
We could do that. That's
Just
fair
mute-
use,
just-
right? As long as you're commentating.
Just mute it and then commentate it, so there's none of the audio.
Oh yeah.
Are you taking a note right now? Like, oh, I'm gonna plan this for later.
Oh shit. Well,
320.
boys, what do you say we wrap it up?
Almost
yeah.
blaze it.
Yeah,
Almost blaze it.
we should do another one.
We should.
Beer 55.
We should do another where we, cross over. Maybe we can come to you guys this
for
time.
Yeah,
Sure.
we definitely want to have you guys on
Definitely.
the show. We've been talking about having you guys on as long as we've been talking about
Yeah.
this crossover. So
And then maybe on your episode we can do the commentating.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, fuck Infinity War. This is the most ambitious crossover.
Yes.
Or
Shit.
we could all build our fucking robots and then
Ooh.
actually fight them.
Let's
Ooh.
do it.
Can we put Rocky in there for?
Not gonna lie,
Blaine's is like an old erector set.
mine's just gonna be
Fuck, guys.
Legos taped to Lincoln Logs.
Mine's just gonna be mine's just gonna be a pipe bomb on a Lego car.
I'll make the erector set from the Sandlot.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
That's why I brought that up.
It's just a catapult.
It launches dildos.
Yeah.
And you see the dildo.
They've all got a Podcastrophe stamp on the side of them, too.
My very first
Little bit of
3D
branding.
experience. My very first 3D experience was Jackass 3D.
Oh god.
And they
Oh,
literally they launched
Flying
they
dildos.
Dildos
they had
like-
a flying dildo, and they had like little like what's the word, scenorama, whatever, they're little tiny miniature sets, and they like
diorama.
yeah, they had
Oh,
little
yeah.
dioramas of cities, like they had Paris and the Taj Mahal, and it's just this dildo.
It's wiggling through the city.
Yeah.
And
and
then
it ended in like someone's ass. Like it just it went up to like Steve-O's ass or
Yeah,
something, just bounced
that makes
off.
sense.
It was
Look at
fantastic.
Steve-O.
That makes sense.
Like this is not how I wanted to see
spend
my first
my day.
Yeah, see my first 3D movie.
Yeah. I think we should definitely cut it off because
All right.
things are starting to freeze up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Lame. They are, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks when we were like, why is everything doing this?
Is it not freezing up on?
too far. We went too
Yeah.
far.
Just Twitch.
Might just be Twitch. Hopefully it's just Twitch. I don't know.
I don't know what it looks like on.
We can shut her down.
Shut her down, boys. Oh.
Well, thanks for having us on.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
You guys are welcome to come back on anytime.
Thank you for finishing.
Yeah,
This
I don't know why I stopped there.
such a sensual, commanding pause. Like, you guys are welcome to come
When I look back up, your eyes were like,
anytime. I was really hoping you were going to finish it because I
But I
almost
need you.
called for an adult.
I need you to finish.
I need you to.
I'm shy.
On that note,
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks to the guys at Podcastrophe. Almost didn't finish that either. What is wrong with me?
We just did like an over 3 hour long podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking's getting harder to
Yeah.
functionality.
I haven't been able to talk the whole time.
I'd like
so-
to tell your audience to make every day a big dick day.
A big dick day.
Hey.
All right, everyone. See you next week. Be sure to tune in.
later.
Prizes.